Chapter 310. Xiang Feng made up for it. It's just me. Really? Xiangyi, she looked at her little uncle, her eyes full of pain. Her big brother's cold, demonic voice came from outside the car window. I advise the two of you not to make any futile resistance. Open the door. Xiang Feng was quick-witted. Actually, I'm in the car next door. Xiangyi, she couldn't bear to look. She really couldn't bear to look. The fried chicken in her hand didn't even taste good anymore. I'll count to 3. If you don't open the door, don't blame me for being rude. Songchen's voice was as cold as ice. 3. Before he could count, the uncle and nephew immediately opened the door. They didn't even dare to think about resisting, let alone think about it. The rich, oily aroma of food filled the car. Songchen only felt his temples twitch a few times. He crossed his arms and looked down at the scene from above. Xiangyi had fried chicken in her left hand and spicy strips in her right. It was obvious she was enjoying her meal. Xiang Feng had milk tea in his left hand and cola in his right. It was obvious he was feeding Xiangyi. Songchen suddenly sneered. Uncle and nephew, tremble. Xiang Feng was still responsible. He trembled as he said, "It's not about little Xiangyi. I forced her to eat it." Songchen, inverting right and wrong. That's a double crime. Xiang Feng's eyes widened. We're both adults. What's wrong with eating some snacks? Songchen, stubborn. That's a double crime. Xiang Feng was instantly terrified. I was wrong. I really know. I apologize to you on behalf of little Xiangyi and myself. Songchen, hypocrisy. That's a triple crime. Xiang Feng? So everything I say is wrong? You come down. This sentence was directed at Xiang Feng. Xiangyi shrank behind him and looked at him with pleading eyes. Little uncle, don't go. Xiang Feng's eyes were filled with tears. Little Xiangyi, uncle loves you the most. Don't worry, uncle will never abandon you. We, uncle and nephew, will share riches and tribulations together. Let's share fried chicken and cola. Xiangyi was extremely touched. Her cherry lips opened and closed as if she wanted to say something. In just an instant, Xiang Feng decisively got out of the car from the other side and ran away like a wisp of smoke. The speed at which those legs moved was even faster than that of a rabbit's. If he doubled his speed, he would probably leave behind afterimages. She wondered what he had been through all these years. Xiangyi, so the love between family members will disappear, right? He turned his neck stiffly and met his eldest brother's gaze. The man's tall figure was hidden in the dim light of the garage. His legs were long and straight, and his whole body exuded a sense of oppression that had existed since he was young. He lowered his eyes, exuding a sharp and intimidating aura. Little rabbit, continue shaking, Songchen said slowly. Why aren't you eating? Fried chicken won't taste good when it's cold. Xiangyi's eyes were filled with horror. Her hand trembled and she almost dropped the fried chicken. Brother, now you know how to call me brother? What were you doing earlier? The corners of Songchen's mouth curled downward, full of cold disdain. His irritable mood couldn't be suppressed and rose from his heart, especially when he saw the cold and spicy food. It was like a ball of fire was burning unscrupulously. His tone became harsh and cold. Xiangyi, you've really grown up. You ran away from home without a word and didn't even say goodbye when you came home. You'd rather be comforted by that dog of a man, Shi Sui, than come find me? Do you still see me as your big brother? Chapter 311. Xiangyi was dumbfounded. She remained motionless as she held the fried chicken and spicy sticks in her hand. A few seconds later, she gradually came to her senses. Big brother meant, she had a guess, but she wasn't sure. Songchen kept a straight face and was about to continue lecturing her when the girl suddenly burped cutely. Xiangyi, Songchen, indeed, carbonated drinks like cola shouldn't be drunk too much. With the hiccup interrupting, Songchen turned his face and covered his thin lips with his hand. Xiangyi didn't know if it was her imagination, but she felt that her big brother was secretly laughing. Hem. Songchen cleared his throat and said fiercely, Do you know what you did wrong? Xiangyi nodded. Do you still dare to run away from home next time? Xiangyi shook her head. Sanction was satisfied. Okay, let's eat fried chicken. Xiangyi looked at him in disbelief, thinking that she had heard wrong. Can I eat it? The girl asked timidly. Sanction was a little confused. Was he some kind of demon king? Why was she so scared of him every time she saw him? It was understandable that his little uncle and the others were scared of him. It was normal for men to fight when they didn't like each other. However, had he ever laid a finger on his little sister since she was young? Every time, she would cry before he could scold her. He was so scared that he didn't even dare to speak loudly to her. Xiangyi took a bite of the fried chicken tentatively. Seeing that her big brother's expression was normal, she quickly took a few more bites. Sob, I can't believe I dared to eat junk food in front of big brother in my lifetime. This scene could be written into the story of how she was weak and pitiful under the control of the Xiang family's Chen. However, when she was about to eat the spicy sticks, her big brother mercilessly took them away. You can't eat spicy or cold food. Seeing his little sister's face pucker up, Sanction's heart softened. Then he returned to his cold and heartless self. But won't these go to waste? Xiangyi said softly. Sanction was silent for 2 seconds. Excuse me. Huh? Make some space for me, the man said indifferently. He sat down beside her and expressionlessly took a bite of the spicy strip. TSK. It was indeed trash. Xiangyi looked at him eagerly. Is it delicious? Sanction said with disdain, it tastes awful. Xiangyi. If it's disgusting, why don't you give it to me? Why do you want to torture yourself and me? That milk tea, let's drink it at room temperature. Xiangyi? What soul would there be left in iced milk tea and iced cola if they were placed at room temperature? What are you looking at? Don't look. Sanction felt that his tone was too rigid and serious. He lowered his voice and said, You're still acting. Don't you know that your period is coming soon? Xiangyi, *degree***, Big brother actually remembered this. Sanction silently ate a few mouthfuls of the spicy strip. The more he ate, the deeper his frown became. What the hell? Was this something that humans ate? His taste buds were very sensitive. He could only taste the additives and low-quality oil. Big brother, the girl's delicate and weak voice sounded in his ears. It was small and timid. Xiangyi licked the corner of her lips. Did she really do something to you? If they didn't talk about it, it would become a knot between her and her brother for the rest of their lives. The siblings had a tacit understanding. Sanction immediately understood who she was referring to. Thinking of that ridiculous scene, his jaw tightened. His long and narrow eyes outlined an earth-shattering coldness. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I can't tell who is my sister? Who is the imposter? Chapter 312. That night, Sanction saw Xiangyi at the hospital. When he found out that his sister had been in a car accident, he pushed aside all his work and rushed to the hospital immediately. After watching over his sister for a few hours, he was a little sleepy and slept on the guest bed next to her. Later, the imposter woke up and looked at him on the edge of the bed. Sanction opened his eyes and found that she was looking at him strangely. Sanction didn't think much of it at first and asked in a low voice, Are you hungry? Do you want some porridge? The girl blinked and said in a sweet voice, Brother, you're so nice. Sanction immediately sensed that something was wrong. Brother, I want you to sleep with me for a while. The girl climbed onto the bed nimbly and snuggled into the man's arms. She raised her hand and slid it to his sleeve, rubbing it ambiguously. That person was using the face of his closest sister, but she was saying the most disgusting words. Sanction grabbed her neck. His body was covered in frost, and the coldness could crush everything. He was domineering and domineering. Where did you take my sister? The imposter's eyes widened in horror. He tightened his grip, and the imposter's face turned red. She felt suffocated at the last moment. Rationality returned. Sanction retracted his hand, his chest heaving violently. I'll ask again. Where is my sister? The imposter realized that he wouldn't really do anything to her, so she pretended to be deaf and mute and refused to answer. Later, Sanction took her to see the best psychiatrist abroad. He, who was a firm believer in materialism, even turned to theology for help. There was no progress until a Taoist priest, who had gone into seclusion for a long time, accepted a favor from Grandpa Xiang and personally came to a conclusion. External evil had entered her body. The common saying was that she had been possessed by something unclean. Sanction smoked for most of the night before he accepted this reality. Later, he came up with a bunch of regulations to restrict Xiangyi's activities. However, there was no need to tell his sister this. Sanction took out a tissue and handed it to her. "Wipe your mouth." Xiangyi did as she was told. Sanction, Xiang Li told me about his conjecture, and I agree with him. Xiangyi was slightly stunned. In other words, Big Brother also felt that person would come back? Since the main system exists to help you travel between different worlds, why can't you complain about such a bug? Can you still contact the main system? This reminded Xiangyi that she couldn't do it now, but Xiao Naofu might be able to. It seemed that it was time to pick up Xiao Naofu and bring him home. I'll think of something. Now that the knot in her heart had been untied, she had a plan for what to do next. Xiangyi sniffled and said pitifully, "Big Brother, if only our whole family could wear it together." Sanction frowned. "But, did someone bully you?" "Yes. I've been beaten so many times. Especially in the Wuxia and Xianxia worlds." Perhaps in Xiangyi's heart, her big brother was the most trustworthy and dependable. She was like a childish child who would complain to her parents. "If you were there, it would definitely be our family beating others up." Sanction, so what kind of image did his sister have of him? Xiangyi was still fantasizing. "Big brother, you're in charge of beating people up, second brother is in charge of trapping people, third brother is in charge of bullying people, fourth brother is in charge of being fierce, and little uncle, is in charge of being a mascot?" She thought for a moment and said hesitantly, "How about we don't bring him along?" A soft, hoarse, and seductive sound was heard. Every inch of the man's sharp edges softened, stretching into a happy and rare gentle arc. Big Brother smiled. Chapter 313. Xiangyi's courage grew a little. She was so nervous that her toes curled up. She asked tentatively, "Then can I have a sip of milk tea?" "Just one sip, really?" Sanction raised his eyebrows. He pulled out a wet towel and patiently wiped his slender fingers clean. Just as Xiangyi was feeling disheartened, she heard two words that were like the sound of nature. "Drink it." "Xiangyi!" Exclamation point. She happily picked up the milk tea and took a big sip with her cheeks puffed up. Sanction watched as she drank a third of the milk tea. She really took a sip. "Sanction?" Sensing her brother's gaze, Xiangyi put down the milk tea reservedly and gulped it down. She burped because she was too full. However, a bright smile bloomed on her face. From today onwards, she was the fiercest child in the Xiang family. Not only did she eat fried chicken in front of her brother, but she also drank milk tea in front of him. Sanction looked at her sweet smile and swallowed the scolding that was about to come out of his mouth. Forget it, forget it. If she was naughty, then so be it. After all, his little sister needed to be pampered. Of course, he still needed to teach his little uncle a lesson. Sanction thought of business and said calmly, "Don't worry about the rumors on Weibo. I'll take care of them." Xiangyi looked at him blankly. "You didn't look at Weibo?" "No." She didn't look at it after posting the recipe. Sanction patted her head. "It's good that you didn't look at it. It should be back to normal tomorrow." He would never allow his little sister to take the blame for an imposter. Xiangyi protested in a low voice. "Brother, that's not how you pat someone's head." Sanction narrowed his eyes. "If you pat my head so hard I'll go bald." Sanction stared at her for a few seconds and sneered. "So other than me, who else touched your head? Shui?" Xiangyi's smile gradually disappeared. When she came back to her senses, she imitated her uncle's actions and jumped out of the car from the other side. She ran forward barefooted, almost tripping over Xiang Feng's shoes as she ran. Sanction. He wanted to maintain his expressionless face, but he couldn't hold it in, and his thin lips curled up slightly. TSK, silly rabbit. Just as the public opinion was gradually fermenting and the entire internet was denouncing Xiangyi, A Weibo post from a well-known relationship blogger completely brought the matter of Xiangyi climbing into her brother's bed to a climax. Qing He Xing Xing V. As a girl, the first thing you have to learn is self-respect, self-cleanliness, and self-love. If you can't even do these things, how could other people respect and cherish you? Forgive me for being blunt, but the female celebrity who caused such an uproar today ignored ethics and crossed the bottom line of human nature. Such behavior is really shameful. Celebrities in the entertainment industry are public figures. Any bad behavior will be magnified and have a great impact on society. Think about it, if someone imitates the female celebrity's behavior, has a messy private life, and even acts inappropriately to her brother, uncle, and father, how much social unrest will that cause? Entertainment is paramount, but entertainment should also have a bottom line. I strongly recommend that artists with such bad behavior be banned. Keep the entertainment industry clean. This blogger often made sharp comments on social issues and had many fans. Once this Weibo post was posted, it was regarded as the Bible and truth by netizens, becoming the best weapon to attack Xiangyi. However, at 8 o'clock in the evening, Linshan Law Office's official Weibo post was cold and concise. Linshan Law Office, regarding Miss Xiangyi's statement, is as follows. Chapter 314. Apart from that, there were no other unnecessary words. There was only a lawyer's letter with an official seal. In the lawyer's letter, there was only one person and one incident. Qin Wanyan was spreading rumors. Any of the following circumstances shall be deemed as fabricating facts to slander others as stipulated in the first paragraph of Article 246 of the Criminal Law. 1. Fabricating facts to damage another person's reputation and spreading them on the internet, or organizing or instructing people. This lawyer's letter could be said to be a precise strike. The netizens were stunned. How did it become a rumor? Wasn't spreading rumors something that only marketing accounts would do? Qin Wanyan was a celebrity. How could a celebrity spread rumors? Qin Wanyan was also dumbfounded. Her manager called to reprimand her. Can you be any more stupid? Even if you want to post it, you should find a marketing account and do it yourself. Aren't you asking for trouble? Don't you know that Big Brother Xiangyi is the top lawyer in the country? Qin Wanyan was speechless. Marketing accounts were not as influential as celebrities. She could only achieve the best results if she posted and deleted it instantly. Also, Xiangyi said that her brother hated her to the core. He wouldn't even talk to her, let alone stand up for her. But now, why did sanction appear? He even gave her a lawyer's letter as a warning. Qin Wanyan cursed in her heart. Didn't she just post something on Weibo? Did it have to escalate to the level of the law? I'll handle it properly. Don't worry. With that, Qin Wanyan hung up the phone. After pondering for a while, she wrote a Weibo post and posted it. Qin Wanyan V. I'm very sorry for what happened. I didn't expect my phone information to be leaked. I also didn't expect that someone would hack my account and post my chat with Xiangyi. She and I used to be good friends. Even though we're drifting apart, I still send her my blessings. After the incident, I tried to contact her to apologize, but she didn't respond to me. As for spreading rumors, it wasn't my intention, and it wasn't my doing. The law is fair, but some people choose to use the law to defend justice, while others choose to use the law to protect their own interests. Forget it, there's nothing to say. I can apologize for my mistake, but, Xiangyi, can you reply to me on WeChat? The attached picture was a chat between her and Xiangyi. She had been asking about Xiangyi's well-being the whole time, and after the instant deletion incident, she had indeed apologized in a sincere tone. However, Xiangyi didn't reply from beginning to end. Just as Qin Wanyan expected, the influence of an artist was much greater than any marketing account. The onlookers rushed over and were instantly brainwashed by her White Lotus tricks. Look, Qin Wanyan is so pitiful. Immortal Qin is so pitiful. Not only did her account get hacked, but the vase fairy still hasn't replied to her message. How shameless. Did anyone notice that Yan Yan's nickname for Xiangyi is AAA with a star? She really treats Xiangyi as a friend. Everything else aside, isn't it too disgusting not to reply? It's fine if she doesn't come back for a day or two, but she hasn't come back for many days. What's the meaning of this? Does she really think that she's an A-list celebrity after gaining some popularity from participating in a lousy variety show? Qin Wanyan's fans cursed and scolded her one after another. Unexpectedly, a few minutes later, someone posted a picture. Qin Wanyan's IP address on Weibo had never changed. In other words, her account wasn't hacked at all. In an instant, there was an uproar on the internet. Chapter 315. What kind of face slapping was this? One moment she posted on Weibo, the next she exposed her IP address. It was as if she was waiting for her prey. Qin Wanyan, who saw that Weibo post, was completely dumbfounded. Am I being targeted? Why are they so vicious? How dare they embarrass me in front of so many netizens? Her manager was the one who was fuming mad. Ever since she started working with Qin Wanyan, her manager had realized that she was a troublemaker. Fortunately, her methods were very effective, and she was able to get the best resources every time. For example, she wasn't very popular at first, but she and Jianghu had been hyped up a few times. She even created an alternate account to infiltrate Jianghu's fan club and turned a large number of fans to become her fans. She also made use of Jianghu's stupidity to set off her fairy-like image and obtained a lot of resources that didn't belong to her in the first place. Her manager felt that it wasn't a bad thing for an artist to be ambitious and know how to plan for herself, so she let her be. She didn't expect that although she would be late, it would definitely happen. From now on, I'm confiscating your Weibo account. After yelling at Qin Wanyan, she hurriedly thought of a way to deal with public relations. Not long after, the manager used her own Weibo account to post a public relations statement that she had rushed out at the last minute. Fatty who loves to eat hot pot v. Public opinion can melt gold. Rumors are the greatest harm to artists. Those who know Qin Wanyan will naturally understand what kind of person she is. I hope everyone won't believe the rumors, spread them, or create them. Our team will use the law as a weapon to protect our precious artist and uphold justice. Thank you, everyone. Those with a discerning eye could tell that the post was sent to the fans. Sure enough, the fans said, "Of course we believe in our goddess Qin." However, the passers-by couldn't help but mock her. I'm laughing. Others use the law for their own personal gain, but you use the law to uphold justice? Haha, this is a huge double standard. You're making it sound so dignified. Why don't you send a lawyer's letter? Learn from Vase Fairy's efficiency. Do you really think lawyers are that efficient in real life? Don't compare yourself to Linchin Law Firm, that's the ceiling of the industry. Lawyer Songchen's cases can be found online. He's really a big shot. I suggest that all law students, of course, you can memorize the entire text. The wind immediately changed direction. Some people began to doubt the authenticity of Qin Wanyan's screenshots, but even more people had preconceived notions. It's just a dogfight. Qin Wanyan is a white lotus, and the Vase Fairy isn't anything good either. Come on, flirting with men and climbing into their beds were all exposed by the Xiang actress herself. It's not like someone put a knife to her neck and said it. Stop washing. There was no way to wash it clean. Don't think that you can distort the truth just because you're powerful. The internet has memories. Is it that awesome to have a lawyer as a brother? Just wait and see, the Vase Fairy's family will never respond again. After all, this is considered a scandal of a wealthy family. Who in high society would be so shameless? The next second, someone exclaimed, "Holy *T. Xiangyi's big brother seemed to have personally responded. Search for Big Brother Tutu and you'll see. That night, countless netizens discovered Songchen's Weibo account. Tutu's Big Brother V. All the incidents are complications of amnesia. Our little bunny lost her memory after a car accident 376 days ago. Attached are the hospital records and the diagnosis of the psychiatrist and psychiatrist, as well as a comparison video of her before and after she lost her memory. Chapter 316. Netizens? Huh? Amnesia? Nowadays, everyone received a large number of pieces of information every day. Weibo's trending topics changed many times a day. Sometimes, netizens would even forget what they had seen. However, there were still those with good memories. They quickly explained to everyone that Dr. Xiang Li once said that Xiangyi had amnesia for a year. Everyone came to a sudden realization. So, all the clues had been linked together? They clicked on the pictures. Sangshan's pictures were just like him. Logical, cold, and concise. Medical records, diagnoses, and screenshots of the hospital or the psychological clinic. Some were in Chinese, some were in foreign languages, and some were in electronic files. Every picture was taken with the time, which couldn't be faked. These could be said to be irrefutable evidence. Seeing these pictures, many netizens realized that they had been played like monkeys and even used as a tool. Some impulsive ones had already rushed to Qin Wanyan's Weibo to start Zhuan mode. There were also some who clicked on the second Weibo post, which was the surveillance video that Sangshan had posted. At the beginning of the video, there was a warm scene. It looked like a family dinner. The eldest brother was Sangshan, the second brother Xiang Li, the third brother Xiang Qi, the fourth brother Xiang Yu, and a simple-looking man who didn't look very smart. The whole family was good-looking. Xiangyi in the video had slightly rounder cheeks than she was now. She was wearing a lovely cotton dress, and her hair was draped over her shoulders. She smiled very gently. "Little Xiangyi, happy birthday. This is a gift from your uncle." The simple-looking man was the first to take out a gift box. "This is a lifetime VIP card for your favorite ice cream brand." In the next second, all four brothers looked at him with murderous gazes. Sangshan snorted coldly. Seeing that it was his sister's birthday, he didn't argue with him. The second to present a gift was Xiang Yu. Sister, this is a game console I'm giving you. It's a limited edition. We can play games together in the future." Then came Xiang Qi, who said in a disdainful tone, "Your dress is too old-fashioned. Here, wear the new dress I made for you. I've embroidered many little flowers for you." Then, it was Xiang Li's turn. The man pushed his glasses and said gently, "Recently, I wrote a new artificial intelligence program. It's quite useful for checking recipes and matching nutritional information. I installed it in this stereo." The last one was Sangshan. The man's face was cold and his eyes were sharp. He threw a folded piece of white paper over in a domineering manner. "Write whatever you want." The others. How could this be? "Xiang Qinshan, you're cheating." However, when faced with Sangshan's frosty gaze, no one dared to say anything. All right, it's time to blow out the candles. Little Xiangyi, quickly make a wish." Xiangyi blinked and clasped her hands together. "I hope that our family can still be together next year." The video went black as it switched to the second half of the video. It was the conversation between Xiangyi and her brothers after she lost her memories. "You're my brother? You're my brother too? Then shouldn't you guys give me some pocket money? I just saw a bracelet studded with diamonds. It's so shiny and beautiful." It was clearly the same face, but from her demeanor to her tone, even her body movements were different. The comments section immediately turned into a huddle. F***, I'm shivering. It feels like a supernatural event. Don't talk about acting. If the Vase Fairy had such acting skills, she would have won the Best Actress award long ago. Oh my god, I thought of a possibility. Maybe it's not amnesia. She's just been possessed by a weasel. Chapter 317. In just a few minutes, the weasel comment was liked and pushed to the top of the list. Delete it, let me send a dog head. How can you say that? Have you forgotten that you don't need to become a spirit after the founding of the country? F***, I'm going to laugh myself to death in the comments section sooner or later. You guys can call her a fox spirit or a lotus spirit, but what the hell is a weasel spirit? It had to be said that Sangshan was too fast, accurate, and ruthless. First, a lawyer's letter was sent to solve the source of the rumors, then evidence was sent to clarify the truth of the rumors. With the video as evidence, 99% of the netizens believed that Xiangyi had lost her memory. No one would believe him if he said that he had transmigrated quickly, but the complications of amnesia made sense in medical science. In a sense, it was not a problem to interpret the imposter as a disease. The public opinion had reversed. Memory loss is really uncontrollable, To be honest, if this happened to a male celebrity, would everyone still be so agitated? A scumbag man could be forgiven, but a scumbag woman had to be nailed to the pillar of shame? Don't argue. If you argue, you are right. I went to check. The complications of amnesia are quite scary. Some people have a drastic change in temperament, some have multiple personalities, and some have suddenly become top students. I can only say that the world is full of strange things. Most people felt that even if Jianghu did something after losing her memory, she would only hurt her own family. His family didn't say anything, so why should a group of outsiders worry about it? Let's scold Qin Wanyan first. In no time at all, Qin Wanyan's Weibo received more than 100,000 comments. This was the highest number of comments she'd ever received. Annual White Lotus Award winner, Qin Wanyan. Is it fun to treat us like idiots? Shameless. What kind of good sister are you? Do you feel good stabbing people? Qin Wanyan's manager knew how to operate the fandom very well. From time to time, she would abuse her fans. She also implemented strict management of her fans. Not only was her fighting power amazing, but she was also extremely loyal. The fans were not convinced. They grabbed onto Jianghu's remaining flaws and scolded. Then no matter what our immortal Qin did wrong, Jianghu should have replied to the message. Then, everyone realized that Shi Sui had updated her status. Shi Sui V. Sister Yi's account was registered a year after she lost her memory. She hasn't used it since she recovered. Qin Wanyan's fans were speechless. It wasn't that he didn't want to reply, but that he didn't even use this account. If they were really good friends, how could Qin Wanyan not know about this? If she knew about it and still sent messages to the air every day, wouldn't she be a self-directed actor? The enraged netizens posted tens of thousands of comments, and even killed Qin Wanyan's account. Her fans were as quiet as chickens, and not many people responded to the big fans' calls for a fight. While the netizens were venting their frustrations on Qin Wanyan's Weibo, there were two groups of people who were very unique. This wave was made up of Jianghu's new sister-in-law fans. They were mainly gathered under Sangchen's Weibo post about the family gathering. Sorry, I've already registered my marriage with my husband Tutu. Bah. My child with Chin Chin is already 3 years old. I announced that I'm now Jianghu's sister-in-law fan. I'm a big sister-in-law, second sister-in-law, third sister-in-law, and fourth sister-in-law. The other wave was naturally made up of Microscope Girl, Ace Picker, and Untimely Couple fans. Chapter 318. These fans naturally gathered under Shi Sui's Weibo account. I'm screaming like a groundhog every day. Shi Sui is so spoiled. He stared at his wife like a maniac during the livestream, and now he's protecting his wife like a maniac after the livestream. I'm going to faint from all the kowtowing. First, he took the lead to say that they're a couple. Then, he defended Sister E on Weibo. Shi Sui's Sister E, lock him up. In my imagination, they're already married with 2 children. Thank you. The most exciting thing for the couple's fans was a wave of unexpected sweets. Shi Sui and Jianghu were featured on the cover of My Style, which was a set of 9 grid photos that attracted countless fans. Shi Sui was dressed in a black retro suit and had a rare seductive look on his face. However, he managed to hold his charm well. The solo photos included the scene of him biting a petal, the elegant and noble moment when he cut the steak, and the extremely invasive close-up of his gaze under the candlelight. The Shi Sui sisters were at the forefront. Shi Sui is so handsome that he's like a shark. This man is so good at taking photos. He's the most demonic vampire in history. I'm at the scene. I'm that petal. Shi Sui's kiss is so domineering. I'm so shy. Jianghu was dressed in a gorgeous cream yellow dress. Her makeup was clear, and her eyes were clean. She looked exactly like the princess on the run that was trending on the internet recently. The solo photos included a close-up of her smile, a moment of her holding the hem of her dress while strolling in the forest, and a fairy tale-like scene of a deer kissing her fingertips. Jianghu's fans immediately came forward to report. Wow, Sister E is such a peerless fairy. E, Mommy loves you. You look so obedient when you're feeding the deer. E, Mommy forbids you from showing your collarbone. Cover it up. Your old mother is so worried. However, the most popular photo was the cover of the couple. The first photo was of the noble-like vampire and the innocent the little princess looking at each other for the first time in the forest. In the second photo, the scene was changed to the castle. Shi Sui was holding the back of Xiangyi's head and was about to kiss her. The third picture was a reflection in the mirror. His slender and well-defined large hand was intertwined with her slender and milky white hand, and their fingers were tightly intertwined. The comments section exploded. Not only were the fans stunned, even the passers-by were stunned. I don't care. Wedding photos. This is the wedding photo. Mom, I'm serious. Untimely super. Level. Sweet. Why are you holding hands? Do you think I'm lacking in traffic? Just give me a kiss. Shirindi, can you do it? If you can't, let me do it. Seeing that this Weibo post was extremely popular, it didn't take long for the official Weibo account to release a video. It was edited with behind-the-scenes footage from the shooting. With the addition of filters, the colors were retro and classy. Sophia's aesthetic was enough to make people slap the table in praise. As for the music, he chose a piano and violin ensemble. The video had a complete plot, from the vampire and the little princess's first encounter to their passionate love, to their sinking into darkness. At first, the music was a soothing and melodious melody, but then it turned into a passionate tango. Slowly, it turned lingering and affectionate, and then it turned gloomy. With the addition of filters and music, the plot was so torturous that it made people's hearts clench. However, at the end of the video, the man held the back of the girl's head in his arms and pulled her into his arms. The camera deliberately gave him a close-up. His Adam's apple rolled sexily as he licked the corners of his pale lips. The video came to an abrupt end. Untimely Super CP fans, it's New Year, it's New Year. Someone, set off 100,000 firecrackers for me. Sisters, let's flood the screen with me. He did it, Shi Sui finally did it. Chapter 319. It had to be said that the chemistry between Shi Sui and Xiangyi was too strong. Even if they weren't fans of the couple, they would definitely buy this issue's cover. There were even fashion bloggers who praised this set of 9 palaces to the sky. Hades's designs never disappoint. The precise tailoring and flowing folds give this escaped princess dress a new definition. The details are full of charm. I believe that not only the deer in the woods, but every woman will be deeply mesmerized by it. Shi Sui's 3-piece black suit was designed by the designer George in the 90s. It's a true out-of-print, vintage, ready-to-wear suit. After the makeover, it looks more gentlemanly and elegant. It's a seamless fusion of classic and modern fashion. Shi Sui is indeed a famous clothes hanger. He has his own unique charm. My style is as brilliant as ever. Miss Sophia has shown us her excellent American businesswoman skills. She has changed the overly sweet style of the traditional 2-person magazine cover into a dark retro style that returns to the magnificence and extravagance of the medieval aristocratic style. The interpretation of the 2 models doesn't make the film appear superficial. Instead, it brings about a sweet and sadistic story. Seeing that the popularity and reputation of the magazine had skyrocketed, the headquarters of the magazine immediately decided to print more copies of this issue. As for the part where the little princess flirted with the vampire, it was used as the final trump card. In the manner, after some discussion, the live stream was restarted. Considering that the clarification on Weibo might not be seen by every netizen, Li Jianyu felt that it would be better to use a live stream to clarify the matter a second time. In addition, in order to ease public opinion, he first released a topic that was enough to arouse everyone's emotions. Dear viewers, this Friday at 9 o'clock in the evening, the edited version of 2 Under One Roof will premiere on all major video websites. I hope that everyone can give us some face. When the time comes, click on it and leave a comment. Our production team will kneel down and thank you. Li Jianyu spoke in a cadence as if he was performing a crosstalk. Because he was easily frightened, he had also gained a lot of daddy fans since the start of the live stream. In an instant, son, the ground is cold. 2 hours of kneeling should be enough. Daddy wants to see a slideshow. Can you arrange it quickly? Watching other shows, the director treats me like an audience member. Watching Two Under One Roof, I treat the director like a trash. There's only one word to describe it: awesome. Popped up on the bullet screen. The atmosphere was very harmonious. However, when the camera panned to Jianghu, it was inevitable that there would be some scolding. These people were a step too slow and didn't see Linshan Law Firm and Sangshan's 2 Weibo posts. They were still mocking him in a sarcastic manner. No one would dare to refute that the Vase Fairy is a dumb artist, right? I've never seen a celebrity who's trending every day and doesn't have many fans protecting her. Not only do they have no fans, but their agency is also dead. This couple's fans are still bragging about how they're well-matched in terms of social status. Is there anyone who doesn't know that the Vase Fairy signed an overbearing contract with the company? The company will take 90% of the profits, and the remaining 10% will be called personal income tax. The worst part is that you have to pay 100 million yuan for terminating the contract, Xiang Feng was originally watching the live stream with his headphones on and wasn't in the frame. However, as soon as he saw the foul language posted by the netizens, he immediately retorted. After a few words, Xiang Feng received a notification: frowny face, your account has been banned. Xiang Feng. Chapter 320. The domineering CEO, the owner of the Xingchen app, have been banned again? What kind of stupid review is this? Stupid restriction. Stupid programmer. Deduct their salaries. Deduct their salaries. Xiang Feng was infuriated when he heard his little niece's soft and gentle voice. Uncle, do you drink milk tea? Xiang Feng was speechless. Rubbish livestream, I'm not watching it anymore. Happy drink, here I come. After Jianghu adjusted her mood, she began to prepare the milk tea. The Xiang family had a sweet taste, especially her uncle, who loved sweets the most. Jianghu had prepared all kinds of ingredients in advance. After the live stream began, she simply boiled the milk tea in a small pot and explained the process while cooking. Shi Sui and Sangshan remained silent most of the time, occasionally speaking up to support her. The girl's tone was gentle and her movements were also unhurried, which was pleasing to the eye. First, she boiled the black tea until it was bright orange-red. Then she poured it into a container prepared by the side and filtered the tea leaves. Then, she boiled the milk until it was warm and melted a few pieces of rock sugar. Jianghu stirred and said, my brother and Shi Sui don't like things that are too sweet, so the milk tea I made isn't very sweet. The ingredients are a bit sweeter, so if you want to have a sweet taste, you can add more ingredients. In Two Under One Roof, Jianghu's presence was actually very insignificant apart from her cooking. She always seemed aloof from worldly affairs. She wouldn't steal the limelight, nor would she compete with the guests for anything. However, such a personality was both good and bad. Without a presence, it often gave people the impression that she was easy to bully. This was also one of the reasons why so many anti-fans were unscrupulously criticizing her. Many netizens suddenly realized that Jianghu seemed to have spoken the most tonight while cooking the milk tea. This also allowed more people to recognize her. Just listening to her speak made them feel inexplicably healed. Li Jinyu promptly cued her. Sister E, some viewers are asking if you bought the ingredients or made them yourself. Jianghu raised her hand and pointed at the ingredients section. She had prepared a sumptuous meal, including pudding, taro balls, mashed taro, roasted immortal grass, red beans, oats, purple rice. Of course, there was also the soul of milk tea. I just did it casually. The method is actually very simple. Take pearls for example. Boil brown sugar and water, pour it into tapioca starch, and stir it into a ball like kneading dough. Then, roll it into a small ball and cook it slowly. The method of making taro balls is to steam sweet potatoes until they are cooked, press them into a paste, and then add an appropriate amount of sweet potato powder. The netizens in the live stream, I've already recorded it. I want to cook it too. My brain can learn as soon as it's learned, my hands can't do as soon as it's done. Boo-hoo, Jianghu is actually so gentle. I like listening to her speak so much, it's so comfortable. Pretty sister, please turn on your mic more in the future. I like it even if you tell me the recipe. Li Jinyu sighed with emotion as he watched Xiangyi introduce the milk tea snacks to the audience, and the audience's favorable impression of her increased. Live streaming was a double-edged sword. Some people gained countless fans after live streaming, while others lost their fans after live streaming. Perhaps he had been wrong all along. He had thought that Xiangyi would be low-key so as not to attract hate. But now, it seemed that letting her express herself naturally was far better than any other method to attract fans. Ding dong, the electric cooker's timer sounded. The milk and black tea were mixed and boiled to about 80 degrees before stopping. Xiangyi first filled a cup for her little uncle. Xiang Feng hurriedly stuffed it into Sangchen's hands like a hot potato. Little Chen, you drink first. No wonder he was the #1 lackey in the Xiang family. Chapter 321. Sangchen took it with a straight face and took a sip. The aroma of the tea was refreshing and rich in milk. It had a smooth and refreshing texture. The sweetness was just right for him. Although Sangchen didn't say anything, he silently took 2 more sips. The netizens. It must be delicious. Xiang Yi's fans even typed with tears in their eyes. I didn't expect that one day, I would not only crave Xiang Yi's body but also his milk tea. Xiang Feng was given the second cup and excitedly added a bunch of condiments. He didn't even use a straw and simply gulped it down. Pearl taro pudding, sweetness plus. It feels so good. He looked at Shi Sui provocatively, thinking to himself, finally, there's someone behind me. My little niece scooped it for me first. In the next second, Shi Sui smiled slightly and raised his hand to add some condiments for himself. However, his hand suddenly trembled, and the spoon fell into the bowl. There was a look of helplessness in his dark eyes. Xiangyi hurriedly said, I'll add some for you. What do you want? Thank you, Sister Yi. Shi Sui looked at her innocently and gratefully. 2 spoonfuls of taro pudding, thank you. Xiangyi added 2 spoonfuls of taro pudding for him and even placed a straw in it. She then carefully handed it to Shi Sui. She almost fed it to him herself. Xiang Feng's eyes widened as if he had been struck by lightning. In the live stream, who is this silly man? Why is he so funny? I seem to have heard Xiangyi call him uncle before. He should be a relative. I don't believe it. Xiang Yi and Chen are obviously not on the same level as him. How can they be family? The netizens' disdain for Xiang Feng was almost overflowing. On Weibo, Tomato Entertainment's latest comment received tens of thousands of scoldings. In fact, it wasn't that Xiangyi didn't have any fans, but her fans were kind enough to criticize Tomato Entertainment instead of arguing with the haters. Even Qin Wanyan had a manager to defend her. No matter how bad the public relations effect was, at least her fans wouldn't be disappointed. But what about Tomato Entertainment? The company pretended to be dead. Their last post was a Weibo post about C7's new album being released on the music platform 2 weeks ago. Xiangyi's fans were completely enraged. Trash company, all you know is to make money. Daily question, did Tomato Entertainment go bankrupt today? What kind of agency are you? Is the PR department dead? Just as the scolding reached its peak, Xiangyi's manager, Nan, suddenly posted on Weibo. Little Nan V. Everyone, stop scolding. The dog company is going to be a human soon. When the fans saw that he was still standing by the company, they were furious. I think you don't want to be a human anymore. As Xiangyi's manager, what have you done? The next second, Tomato Entertainment's official Weibo account, which had been dead for a long time, finally came back to life. Tomato Entertainment 10 minutes ago, our company and Xingchen Entertainment have completed all the procedures. Now, the company's business and artists are all under Xingchen Entertainment. Our company will be starting a business restructuring today. The legal person of the new company is Xiangyi V. Hello, President, please take care of us in the future. All the fans were dumbfounded. They were dumbfounded. How did our sister Yi become President Yi? In the live stream, Xiang Feng received a notification from his assistant, telling Sister Yi that the acquisition of the company had been completed. Xiang Yi was stunned. Seeing this, Xiang Feng was furious. What's with your expression? Is it that difficult to acquire a company? Your uncle is a domineering Sith. Chapter 322. Uncle, you've acquired my management company? The girl snapped back to reality and looked at Xiang Feng in disbelief. Xiang Chen glanced at him. She couldn't be bothered to diss him for being so inefficient. Xiang Feng put his hands on his hips and said arrogantly, "Aha, I've also registered your name as the legal representative. From now on, you'll be your own boss." In the live stream, some netizens stubbornly refused to believe it and ridiculed. I'm dying of laughter. Do you know how much it costs to acquire a company? Tomato Entertainment may be a small company, but it's worth at least a few billion yuan. How can you buy it just like that? You're bragging to the heavens. The netizens who had already learned about the new drama on Weibo retorted, "You're not convinced? Keep it to yourself. Our sister E is fair, rich, and beautiful. She has her brother to protect her and her uncle to dote on her. That's how domineering she is." The live stream was in an uproar, and some netizens who claimed to be professionals stepped forward to say, "Frowny face, this financial practitioner is laughing. Fixed assets and liquid assets are two different concepts. Billionaires don't mean that they can casually take out 100 million yuan in cash. This silly guy said that he wanted to buy a company worth a few billion yuan? Does he mean that he has at least billions or even tens of billions of yuan in assets?" This comment garnered the approval of many people. Exactly, how can such a silly guy be a domineering CEO? If Sanction said it, it would be more believable, but since it was Xiang Feng, no one believed it. Just as this small group of haters thought that they had grasped the truth and were ridiculing Xiangyi in the live stream, Xiangyi's fans, who had been quietly waiting for them for a long time, finally unhurriedly moved the Weibo post from Tomato Entertainment over. Tomato Entertainment 10 minutes ago, our company has the haters? The haters? That silly guy is actually a domineering CEO? That was already frustrating enough. However, Xiangyi's fans had become mischievous at some point. They deliberately popped up at this moment to mock. "Congratulations to our sister E for turning from a social animal to a boss. Xiang E, it's impossible for her to work, she can only be a domineering C." I want to shout, "Little uncle is awesome." After yelling, he was still so naive. Using a spoon to scrape the pearls and Immortal roasting grass that can't be sucked up from the bottom of the cup is so realistic. All the trolls. Damn it, we've always been the ones angering others. I didn't expect to be angered today. On the sofa, Shui, who had been sitting beside Xiangyi and drinking milk tea obediently, suddenly asked, "Sister E, are you going to work hard to sign artists and start your career in the future?" Everyone knew that Shui's contract with Xingchen Entertainment was about to expire. Xiang Feng was confused. "You're trying to jump ship right in front of me, the overbearing Su?" Xiangyi was a little embarrassed. "I don't think anyone wants to sign with my company." She knew a little about management and had practiced in the world of transmigration. However, it wasn't easy to sign an outstanding artist. The trolls caught their breath and typed angrily, "At least you have some self-awareness." At this moment, the sound of an argument suddenly came from outside the living room. "We came first, we want to see sister first." "Ha, I won't let you. You can choose whether you want to fight one-on-one or gang up on her." The live stream. Why do I feel like it's Chin Zai from C7? Isn't the C7 boy group a ready-made artist? All the trolls. I'm so angry. Chapter 323. Xiangyi's eyelashes fluttered as she stood up. "We have guests, I'll go take a look." The cameraman followed closely behind her. The girl opened the door, and the cameraman happened to capture the scene outside. Sure enough, it was the 7 members of C7. The group's top celebrity, Jiangchen, was arguing childishly with someone. Standing opposite him was the ruffian from Mingxi Boys High School a few days ago, Rong Huai. "Can't you be reasonable?" Jiangchen clenched his fists in anger. Rong Huai still had a crew cut, and he shook his legs arrogantly. "I already said that you can choose whether it's a one-on-one or a group fight. I'm not even afraid, so what are you afraid of?" Before he could say the word trash, he noticed Xiangyi smiling behind the door and changed his words. "Spicy chicken tastes good. Jiangchen, do you have Are you crazy? His captain, Shen Ci, blocked his words with his hand. Shen Ci was the standard pretty boy, and he flashed a clean smile at Xiangyi. Hello, sister. Ahem, Jiang Chen wanted to say, do you have any Sichuan restaurants to recommend? Jiang Chen's ears turned red. He didn't expect his sister to see him arguing with someone. Boo-hoo, he would definitely be hated. Rong Huai was also a little uncomfortable. He whistled and pretended to be calm, but his eyes kept sneaking glances at Xiangyi, revealing a guilty conscience. Unexpectedly, when Xiangyi opened her mouth, her tone was still gentle and soft. I made milk tea, do you want to drink it? Rong Huai was the first to speak. Yes. C7, me too. The two sides exchanged glances, and their swords were drawn. Xiangyi said helplessly, everyone has a share. Come in first. Rong Huai was tall, strong, and experienced in fighting. He pushed Jiang Chen and the others aside and was the first to enter the living room. C7. We were too careless. He actually beat us to it. However, even if we can't beat this troublesome brat, can we not beat our own members? Thus, the 7 of them squeezed together at the door to see who would enter first. If not for Xiangyi coming over to persuade them, they would probably have fought. It could be said that this group of souls were like plastic. Because there were too many people, the sofa could not accommodate all of them, so the younger brothers all sat on the floor. Sitting on the sofa, Xiang Feng, Sangchen, and Xiang Feng looked down at everyone. Xiang Feng was envious. If I were 10 years younger, my skin would be as good. Sangchen, heh. Shi Sui chuckled. Do you two think you're any better? You're still an old man who's nearing his 30s like me. Sangchen, Shi Sui. The whole living room was shrouded in a gloomy atmosphere. The younger brothers were shivering. Even Rong Huai moved closer to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen wanted to protest, but Rong Huai gave him a stare. What are you looking at? If you keep looking, I'll beat you up. He was so fierce. However, when they huddled together, they didn't seem to be that scared anymore. This was probably the legendary huddling together to keep warm. Milk tea is ready. Add whatever you want. Xiangyi poured a cup for each of them. The hot milk tea seemed to have the power to bewitch people. The netizens in the stream wanted to cry but had no tears. Orders for milk tea on all major takeout platforms have skyrocketed. Everyone, please pay the advertising fee to Sister E. Thank you. Little Vase, stop it. Fatty Rua and I were already 2 people before watching the stream. Trash streamer. You only know how to cook milk tea every day. Can't you create a couple? Ahem, an untimely and beautiful couple. Want to know more? Chapter 324. The fans secretly extended their little fingers to test the waters, ignorant netizens. Huh? Untimely? Let's search to see what's going on. Then, we accidentally fell into the trap. The main character is the one who started the love line. If you don't, you're not a surfer. In the living room, Rong Huai was like a little tyrant as he went up to grab 2 cups of milk tea. He was the kind of hooligan who wouldn't drink if he didn't. Jiang Chen protested softly, that's not right. Sister poured a cup for each of us. Then Rong Huai smiled sinisterly and flexed his muscles. Are you asking for a beating? Jiang Chen was speechless. #pretend nothing happened and pretend to be a good boy who didn't like milk tea. The next second, Rong Huai's forehead was knocked. He hissed and raised his head fiercely, like a frivolous and wild wolf puppy. He met Xiangyi's calm and gentle gaze. He rubbed his forehead aggrievedly. Why did you hit me? Xiangyi said, 1 cup for each of us. You can give the extra cup to brother Jiang Chen. Rong Huai seemed to have heard a joke. You want me to call him brother? It had always been others who called him brother, okay? Xiangyi sat cross-legged on the ground, resting her chin on her hands and looking at him quietly. His eyes met hers. 1 second, 2 seconds. In the 3rd second, Rong Huai couldn't take it anymore and looked away, his ears turning red. F***ck. This woman isn't reserved at all. How could she stare at him so intently? Even he was embarrassed by his stare. He reluctantly pushed a cup of milk tea to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen was speechless. Sob, big sister is so nice and gentle. He took a sip. The hot milk tea warmed his stomach and warmed his heart. It was slightly sweet and had a light tea fragrance. It was a perfect match with red beans and oats, however, it must be very high in calories. He definitely couldn't drink too much. He took a sip. Should I have a little more? By the time Jiangchen came to his senses, he had already finished the cup of milk tea. The young man hit his head in frustration. Rong Hui sneered. You've already drunk it, what's there to regret? Didn't you get any joy from my milk tea? Jiangchen was in a daze, pondering Rong Hui's words. That's right. Big Sister's cooking had this kind of magical power that made people feel warm and happy. Wasn't this the true essence of tasting food? Jiangchen felt enlightened. Younger brother, you are really a philosopher. A thinker. His words are too profound and too reasonable. Rong Hui thought, I'm afraid he's a fool. Here, add some more taro balls for me, Rong Hui ordered him casually. Jiangchen followed his order obediently. The two of them had completely forgotten that they were still streaming. Little did they know that their interaction did not escape the sharp eyes of the netizens. Ah, top traffic ex-arrogant young man, so sweet, so sweet. I'm sorry, although this couple is a cult, I can't help but stand there for a second. Zai Chen's aloofness is just a persona, but his true self is the naive and sweet one. He's being bullied by Rong Hui's younger brother. After chatting for a while, Xiangyi asked about the purpose of her brother's visit. Rong Hui cleared his throat. Jiangchen had added a little too many taro balls for him just now, so his throat was sticky. I plan to take the arts exam and enroll in the film academy. But I heard that you've started a company. Can I work there? As if he was afraid that Xiangyi would reject him, his eyes lit up. Sign me up. I won't let you regret it. Chapter 325. Although the young man spoke a little hurriedly, she could feel his firm conviction in his tone. He really trusted Xiangyi. Even though she knew that it was childish, she still couldn't help but be influenced by his passion. Xiangyi adjusted her sitting posture and sat upright. She did not look down on Rong Hui because of his young age. Instead, she said, Rong Hui, I'm very happy that you have a new study plan. However, signing a contract with a management company is not a trivial matter. I hope you can seriously consider it for a while. Rong Hui panicked. Hey, do you despise me? Xiangyi said gently, No, I'm just standing from an objective point of view. You're still underage and legally you're She looked at her brother for help. Sangchen crossed his long legs and said indifferently, a person without civil capacity usually refers to a minor under the age of 8 or a minor who can recognize his own behavior. Rong Hui gritted his teeth and stared at Xiangyi with his dark eyes. There was a mix of anger and grievance in his eyes. Sister, I know what I'm doing. He pulled out a crumpled piece of paper from his pocket, which seemed to have been torn from a notebook. He then placed it in front of Xiangyi with a sullen face. She unfolded it and saw that the word contract was written on the top. His signature was written on the bottom right corner. The handwriting was crooked, and it was even uglier than a dog's crawl. In the live stream, F***ck, sand got into my eyes. This is too easy to cry. Rong Hui really trusts Sister EQAQ. This is equivalent to entrusting his future to her. I'm about to cry. I laughed out loud again when I saw Rong Hui's handwriting. It's so ugly. Xiangyi stared at Rong Hui with her clear doe eyes. Rong Hui was extremely nervous. His hands that were hanging by the sides of his trousers were clenched into fists, and his palms were sweating profusely. He was afraid that Xiangyi would criticize him indiscriminately like his parents. He was even more afraid that Xiangyi would reject him. However, Xiangyi said, Rong Hui, thank you for believing in me. The young man was stunned. I'll accept this contract, but I think we should both have the opportunity to choose, right? You chose me. Similarly, if you get into the film academy, I will sign you. During this period, both of us have the right to go back on our words. What do you think? From the beginning to the end, she was gentle and soft. She didn't tell him what to do with his life, but he was given a choice. Rong Hui's Adam's apple bobbed slightly, as if he had just drunk a sports drink and was about to play a game. Okay, I promise you. We'll choose both sides. He hurriedly added, you can't go back on your word. Otherwise. Rong Huai thought for a long while, but he still couldn't think of any powerful threats. He laid his eyes on Jiang Chen and strangled him from behind. I'll beat him up. Jiang Chen, who had been innocently implicated, was speechless. Xiangyi was amused by him. You're too shameless. The live stream was also filled with hostage. Jiang Chen raised his hand, indicating that he was going to speak. Rong Huai loosened his grip a little. Jiang Chen said, Elder sister, I've signed with Tomato Entertainment for 5 years. Do you want to sign with me for a few more years? Shen Xiai said, 5 years is nothing. Elder sister, my contract is very long. I've signed for 10 years. The others said, Elder sister, renew my contract. I'm cheaper. I can do it too, elder sister. Pick me. The netizens were speechless. What? Little brothers, is there anyone who would fight to sign a slave contract like you? Chapter 326. Xiangyi felt like laughing. These kids were she couldn't turn them down. There's no rush to renew the contract, but I promise to hire professionals to help you plan your career path. The C7 boys nodded repeatedly. Jiang Chen nudged Rong Huai with his shoulder, unable to hide his smugness. We're pretty much guaranteed jobs in sister's company. Keep it up, brother. If you can't get into the film academy, sister won't sign you. Rong Huai gritted his teeth. Are you asking for a beating? Xiangyi, kids, don't fight. Li Jinyu, Huawei, watch your words. Be careful not to get our live stream banned. Rong Huai. How infuriating, but he still had to pretend to be obedient in front of sister. The netizens in the live stream were filled with emotions. I've seen people fighting to terminate their contracts, but I've never seen people fighting to renew their contracts. They were obviously tricked into signing the contract by the company, but now they're bragging about it. The boys are so cute and pitiful. I'm tearing up. I've always felt bad for the boys signing with this unscrupulous company, but now I see a glimmer of hope. I hope Xiangyi doesn't let them down. Someone else got the main point. Haha, look at Shi Sui's expression, isn't it a little subtle? Countless eyes were focused on Shi Sui's face on the screen. The man leaned lazily on the sofa, his gold-rimmed glasses resting on the bridge of his nose. His eyebrows were lowered, and his long eyelashes cast a faint shadow on his fair skin. Xiangyi inexplicably felt a chill on the back of her neck. She turned around and met Shi Sui's gaze. She was puzzled. Shi Sui said faintly, Does Sister E hate me? Xiangyi was dumbfounded. No, then why didn't you sign me? Sister E, do you think I'm too expensive? Then I can make it cheaper. Shi Sui's voice was deep, and after deliberately lowering it, it sounded a little hoarse. Or does Sister E think I can't work for you if you sign me? His tone was weak, helpless, and pitiful. Those who heard it were heartbroken and those who heard it shed tears. The girl was at a loss. That's not what I meant. I thought you were joking. After all, Shi Sui was signed by his uncle's company. Moreover, his uncle was very kind to him and opened a personal studio for him. The basic work was up to his mood. In other words, Shi Sui was now no different from a free man. Why would a normal person be willing to sign with another company and put shackles on themselves? It was illogical. The netizens in the live stream were shocked. F***CK. Was I hallucinating? Shi Indi is actually begging to work. Si Chuanbai, great manager C, do you know that your artist is lovesick? Domineering female COX best actor of the entertainment industry. Sisters, I can do it again. It's fine if the younger brothers are fighting to sign the contract, but Shi Indi, he's basically selling his looks, his skills, and his body. Shi Sui pushed up his glasses and looked at Xiangyi with his deep eyes. He sounded a little aggrieved. I'm not joking with you. Xiang Feng said weakly, Shi Sui, I'm your boss. Hey, did you hear me? I'm your boss. Xiangyi said in a daze, then, sign it. Anyway, one more person wouldn't make much of a difference. Xiang Feng's world collapsed. Little Xiangyi, he jumped ship in front of me, and you're trying to poach him in front of me. Do you still have any respect for me? Chapter 327. Shui crossed her arms. Are you a black-hearted boss? Xiang Feng subconsciously denied, of course not. Then what's the problem with employees moving freely? Shui looked at Sanction and blinked. Or is it that the law forbids employees from jumping ship? Sanction, although he hated this dog of a man, he still owed him a favor just now. Sanction said expressionlessly, there's no such rule in the labor law. Shui shrugged and spread her hands. So what's wrong with me jumping ship to Sister Yi's company? Xiang Feng was confused and his eyes were in a trance. The netizens in the live stream, haha, there's nothing wrong with that. Keep the goodies within the family, we're all family. Dog head. Family is a wonderful description. Is it Xiangyi and Xiang Feng's family, or is it Shui and Xiangyi's family? Why can you send a voice message? I can hear your demonic laughter just by looking at the text. Until the end of the live stream, countless netizens were still discussing it with relish. There were also many posts on the Melon forum, and some netizens had taken a screenshot of Xiangyi's photo and photoshopped it with a peach blossom pattern. Title of the post: Let's all freeload off Xiangyi's luck with the opposite sex. Text of the post: First of all, I was a fan of Sister Yi's looks when I first watched the live stream, but now I'm a genuine fan of hers, haha. After some statistics, Sister Yi is really attractive, not derogatory. First, it was the cute little brother Yan Nai, then the boys from Mingxi Boys High School. I strongly pick Rong Huai. The high school boys are so cute. Go! There were also Jiang Chen's children from C7, as well as Shi Yingdi, who was almost 30 years old. In terms of looks, Sister Yi is a great beauty, but the wonderful thing is that her eyebrows are youthful, round, and not aggressive. Simply put, she has the kind of looks that are popular with elders. Both boys and girls will feel comfortable looking at her. Of course, Sister Yi's personality is also very good. Her gentle womanly charm both men and women. However, I think the most important point is that Sister Yi is the reincarnation of a peach blossom spirit. That's why she has such good luck with the opposite sex. I'll post it when I find a boyfriend. Because the post was so silly, it was soon pushed. What the hell? Superstition? Upstairs, what do you know? This is called seeking spiritual sustenance from theology. I'm Peach Blossom Spirit. You're a fake fan. Peach Blossom deity was more like it. The peach blossoms were bright and dazzling. With her husband. In short, this post was inexplicably popular, and at one point, it was pushed to the top 3 most popular areas of the Melon forum. Before Xiangyi went to bed, she received a WeChat message from Anan. Anan Hao Nan, suck. Anan Hao Nan, suck stars. Xiangyi slowly sent a few question marks over. Anan made a voice call. Sister E. I heard you're a peach blossom immortal. Let me suck. I also want to have good luck with the opposite sex and be single. Xiangyi was confused. But I'm single too, Anan blurted out. Aren't you married to Shi Yingdi? You've already taken wedding photos and gone on your honeymoon. Sorry I kowtowed too much. Shui and I? Xiangyi looked innocent. There's nothing between the two of us. Before she finished speaking, there was a knock on her bedroom door. A gentle but seductive voice slowly sounded. Sister E, are you asleep? Chapter 328. On the other end of the screen, Anan. He was suddenly excited. He lowered his voice and covered his mouth as he laughed. Oh, it's really nothing for me to come looking for you in the middle of the night, Xiangyi. It's not what you think. Okay, no need to say anything, I understand. Anan gestured. Darling, don't worry, I'll support you no matter what you do. Do your best and defile Shi Yingdi. Okay. The call ended. Xiangyi, #what should I do if my manager is too silly? She tidied up her nightgown and draped a small blanket over her shoulders before walking towards the door in her slippers. As soon as she opened the door, she was greeted with a beauty attack. Shui took off his sunglasses, revealing his deep brows and pure black pupils as he looked at her with a faint smile. The pajamas seemed to have been bought too big. The collar was loose, revealing a large area of cold white skin and clear collarbones. Xiangyi almost imperceptibly swallowed her saliva. The girl hadn't realized that her feelings for Shui were different from her feelings for her brother. "It's so late, what's the matter?" Xiangyi asked. "Shui, let's go pick up Xiao Naofu together tomorrow? It must be homesick." Xiangyi, "Okay, I was planning to go tomorrow anyway." Oh, suddenly, a bony hand covered the top of her head, the movements gentle and delicate. "There's a feather on it." As an older brother, helping his sister twist a feather didn't seem like a big deal. "Maybe it's from the pillow." Xiangyi forced herself to remain calm. After waiting for a few seconds, Shui still didn't look like he was done. She couldn't help but ask, "Are you done?" Yeah. Shui retracted his hand, his voice low and mellow. But, as he moved, the originally loose pajamas slipped down, revealing a thin but not weak shoulder. "Your clothes," Xiangyi whispered, her voice as soft as a mosquito's. Shui blinked. "What did you say?" Xiangyi looked calm and composed as she draped the small blanket over Shui. "It's cold, wear more." Shui was stunned for 2 seconds before her expression returned to normal. "Thank you." "You're welcome. I'm going back to my room." Xiangyi turned into the room and closed the door. She leaned against the door and patted her chest. His heart was beating abnormally fast. Outside the door, Shui lowered her long eyelashes and stood in place for a while. Then she chuckled softly. Not far from the French window, Sangchen, who was dressed in black silk pajamas, seemed to be one with the darkness. He gripped the cup tightly, as if he was a cedar covered in icicles on a distant mountain. "I think you don't want your leg anymore." He didn't specify which leg he was referring to. Shui slowly walked a few steps in front of him. She wrapped the small blanket tightly around herself as if she was showing off. The fragrance of her hair still lingered on it. "Are you angry again?" "Brother-in-law, Sangchen!" Exclamation point. The man's eyes were cold and his tone was cold. "What did you call me?" Shui looked at him innocently. "Brother-in-law, can you break my leg the day after tomorrow? After all, I'm going to pick up the child with Sister E tomorrow." Sangchen gritted his teeth. "Child?" Shui chuckled. "Yes." Sangchen was so angry that he started to roll up his sleeves. He thought that he could have a showdown with Shui, but he didn't expect Shui to call Xiangyi so openly. "Xiangyi, what's wrong?" Shui complained. "Sister E, someone bullied me." "Who? Where?" Sangchen. He took a deep breath, snatched the phone and said coldly, "Go to sleep." This dog of a man was really despicable and shameless. Chapter 329. The next day. After Xiangyi finished her morning exercise, she made some simple scallion pancakes, steamed buns, and pumpkin millet porridge. She left some breakfast for her uncle and brother. After having breakfast with Shui and the others, she set off. Li Jianyu called the cameraman along and started a live stream while walking. He was planning to do a behind-the-scenes version of Smog and Cat 2. 0-inch. Halfway there, Xiangyi suddenly thought of a serious problem. The esports players usually train until very late. They probably haven't woken up yet. Li Jianyu also reacted. "It's only 8 o'clock now. Maybe some of them have just fallen asleep. Why don't we turn back?" Xiangyi's eyes lit up. "Why don't we go to the amusement park to play?" Shui, "Okay, we'll do as you say." The netizens were appalled. "Is this considered a date? How old are you to go to the amusement park? Why are you pretending to be young?" I'm speechless. There are so many people at the amusement park. If celebrities go there, won't there be an accident? Can Xiangyi grow some brains? Li Jianyu was a little tempted, but considering the safety issue, he could only say regretfully, "Forget it, we didn't contact the amusement park in advance to clear the area. If you two go in disguise, you'll still be easily recognized. It won't be good if an accident happens." That crazy Saising fan from before was a good example. "Xiangyi, clear the area? I'll take care of it." Li Jianyu was shocked. "Sister E, are you omnipotent?" In the live stream, There were always netizens who were nitpicking. Can you do whatever you want with money? You can smile. Is she flaunting her wealth? Is she flaunting her wealth? How can anyone like such a woman? Is there something wrong with your brains? Think about those people who have booked tickets in advance and are excited to go to the amusement park, only to be told that they can't enter because the rich people have cleared the area. The gap between the rich and the poor is so big that no one cares? Until the nanny van stopped at an amusement park. The cameraman got out of the car first and took photos of the surrounding scenery. The surrounding greenery was excellent. The sky was blue, the clouds were white, and the flowers were in full bloom. Even the road signs were made into cartoon designs. Some netizens from Nanjing were puzzled. I've been to all the amusement parks in Nanjing, but I've never seen one with such good greenery. Which amusement park is this? Is it new? The next second, the camera was aimed at the entrance of the amusement park. The words, Tutu Amusement Park, came into view. Netizens? I have a familiar feeling. No, impossible, I don't believe it. Does Jianghu have an amusement park at home? Li Jianyu was also surprised when he saw the name of the amusement park. He asked weakly, Sister Yi, this isn't also your family's business, right? Jianghu was a little embarrassed. It was built by my grandfather. It's not open for business. This is actually a mini version of the amusement park. It's very small inside, about 1/10 the size of a normal amusement park. There are only merry-go-round rides, but it should be just enough for us to play for a few hours. Li Jianyu, 10% is already a lot. Isn't it better to build a house? He had been a social worker at Muyao TV for several years, but he hadn't even saved up enough money for a down payment on a house in the live stream. Poverty has really limited my imagination. Come out and get beaten up. Your family's little amusement park won't affect others at all. What should I do? I suddenly have an idea. Shui might as well not marry Sister Yi and marry into her family as a gigolo. Chapter 330. Is there such a good thing? Shui, get out of the way. Let me do it. Sister Yi, let's discuss this. Don't be so rigid about gender, okay? Look at you people, do you even have any integrity? All you know is to marry into the family. I'm your child that you've lost for over 20 years. Ha, you're making me laugh to death. Sister Yi is only 20 years old, how can she give birth to a child in your 20s? The silly netizens were having so much fun with the jokes that they drowned out the haters' comments. The procedure to enter the garden was very simple, they had to scan their faces. There were only a few staff members, but their service was very good. Jianghu and Shui went in first. Li Jianyu said in all seriousness, isn't this something only children play? Old Zhang, let's shoot properly later and try to make it feel like an idol drama. The netizens commented, Director Li, you must be a fan. How can you conspire loudly? The cameraman Old Zhang nodded. Yes, that's for sure. I'm already in my 40s, why would I play this? A few minutes later, Li Jianyu sat on the merry-go-round and laughed like a fool. This thing is quite fun. Oh, let's go higher, let's go higher. Little brother, can you double the speed? The staff member had a Mona Lisa smile on his face. Sure. Li Jianyu said, Old Zhang, come on. Hurry up and come with me. A merry-go-round that's twice the speed is one of a lifetime. If you miss it, you'll have to wait until your next life. Old Zhang was tempted. Then I'll play 2 rounds with you. Hence, the manual position became a fixed position. The netizens in the live stream were laughing like crazy. Director Li, Old Zhang, so fragrant. You two wake up. We want to watch Sister Yi and Shui go on a date. Why did the idol drama turn into a country romance? Why am I laughing so hard in front of the screen? The variety shows required a sense of variety. Most people watch the live stream to pass the time and have some fun. Li Jianyu and Old Zhang's casual self-indulgence, which made them even more hilarious. This scene would also become one of the textbook scenes of variety shows in the future. On the other side, the theme of the entire amusement park was rabbits. There were cute big rabbits, small rabbits, white rabbits, and gray rabbits everywhere. Most of the amusement facilities were also related to rabbits. Xiangyi was playing a game of Hit the Rabbit. She had liked to play this game since she was young. The feeling of smashing rabbits with a carrot hammer was especially stress-relieving. Shi Sui, on the other hand, was interested in the cotton candy being sold at the side. He stared straight at it, and the young lady in charge of selling the cotton candy blushed under his stare. "Well, do you want some? I'll give you one." Shi Sui thanked her with a smile and waved at her. However, after Xiangyi finished playing with the rabbit, she felt her sleeve being gently tugged. She looked up and saw Shi Sui's wet eyes. She looked pitiful. Xiangyi's tone was like coaxing a cub. "What do you want? I'll buy them all for you. I have money." Putting everything else aside, if the annual income of Tutu's farm was made public, it would be enough to make people gasp in amazement. Not to mention, Xiangyi also had the supplementary cards of the entire Xiang family. Her grandfather had given her a building, her grandmother had given her a floor of a shop, her aunt had given her a small gemstone mine overseas, and so on. Although it would be a little difficult to cash them all out, it was more than enough to raise Shi Sui. Shi Sui pointed at the cotton candy not far away. "Sister E, I want some." Xiangyi, "Okay, I'll buy it." The young lady was stunned on the spot. Didn't she say that she didn't want to eat it just now? Chapter 331. "Hello, I'd like a cotton candy." Xiang Yi's soft voice pulled her back to reality. As a staff member of Tutu Amusement Park, the young lady was well aware of who the amusement park was built for. Old Mr. and Mrs. Xiang doted on their granddaughter so much that the amusement park was named after Xiangyi's alternate account. The maintenance of the venue and facilities alone required an unlimited amount of manpower and resources. The staff members were all students sponsored by the Xiang family. Not only were their jobs easy, but they could also supplement their family expenses. "Miss Xiang, the cotton candy is free of charge. There are 2 colors, which one would you like?" Xiangyi tilted her head to look at Shi Sui. He looked down and said with a faint smile, "Pink." "Okay, please wait a moment." Soon, a huge pink fluffy cotton candy was handed to Xiangyi. Xiangyi handed it to Shi Sui with a radiant smile. The tall man holding the cotton candy was clearly a strange scene, but the young lady felt a tinge of sweetness. These two are in love, aren't they? Aren't they? At the same time, a low-key and comfortable car stopped at the entrance of the amusement park. Xiang Yin got out of the car first. He was dressed fashionably in a floral shirt with oil paintings and beige trousers. Although his hair was white, he was hale and hearty. Xiang Yin opened the car door for his beloved wife out of habit. Madame Xiang was wearing a floral dress with an apricot-colored shawl. The color of her bag was also similar to Xiang Yin's tie. "Old man, help me take a photo later. I want to post it on my WeChat moments and piss off Mrs. Zhou next door." As the group leader of the elderly plaza dance group, Mrs. Zhou was also the first to master the usage of WeChat, much to the envy of countless group members. Xiang Yin said in disdain, "How childish." Madame Xiang humphed and said, "Why? Do you dislike me? Find another grave then, don't lie next to me in the future." Xiang Yin said, "I'll take a photo, okay?" He didn't even know how to use WeChat. Why didn't his family teach him? Of course, it was because his son was busy, his daughter was busy, his grandson was busy, and his granddaughter. He didn't have a granddaughter. This brat had angered her own grandmother so much that she fainted several times. There was no way he would admit that she was his granddaughter. Xiang Yi's grandfather, Madame Xiang, was not very good at surfing the internet, so she didn't know about Xiang Yi's live stream. Madame Xiang said, "I heard from Feng Feng that little Tutu has become normal. Did you forget what Taoist Qin said? She was possessed by an evil spirit? Nonsense." Although Xiang Yin's grandfather was a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner who believed in the theory of yin and yang and the 5 elements to treat illnesses, he firmly refused to believe in ghosts and gods. "Why are you mentioning her? You're affecting my mood. Let me tell you, old woman, Xiang Yin will never acknowledge her as my granddaughter." Madame Xiang sighed. When she thought of how Xiang Yi had done all kinds of evil deeds in the past year, she felt really suffocated. At first, she brought Xiang Yi back to the Xiang family's old mansion to recuperate, but she ended up causing a huge ruckus in the old mansion. The worst time was when she angered Xiang Yin so much that he was sent to the hospital and almost sent to the intensive care unit. Over time, no matter how passionate the two old men were, they became disheartened. Later on, Sanction made the decision to send her away, but Xiang Yi didn't take the initiative to contact them. Gradually, there was no news from her. To their surprise, when they entered the garden, the staff said respectfully, "Old master, Miss Xiang has brought her friends here to play." Xiang Yin frowned and asked, "How many people? Are they men or women?" The staff answered, 3 men." Xiang Yin's beard flared up and he hollered, "This brat." Chapter 332. She's getting more and more outrageous. Previously, when she was in the Xiang family mansion, she was so obsessed with her online dating partner. Of course, Xiang Yi's grandfather, Madame Xiang, didn't know that Xiang Yi had more than one online dating partner at that time. Madame Xiang liked to be lively and lively. From time to time, there would be gatherings at home, and the guests were all her old friends. Occasionally, she would bring her nephews and grandchildren to hang out with each other. This wretched girl actually fell in love with a man who is more than 10 years older than me. He's a generation older than me too. If it's really a match made in heaven, it's fine. The Xiang family doesn't value seniority that much anyway. However, he's a notorious playboy. Xinghe insisted on marrying him and threw a tantrum for a long time before she stopped. Madame Xiang persuaded, "Why don't we go back?" Firstly, she was afraid that Xiang Yi would get so angry that he would fall ill when he saw Xiang Yi. Secondly, she was afraid that her little tutu would be reprimanded and beaten up. No matter how disobedient Xiang Yi was, she would still feel sorry for her. Although Xiang Yi's grandfather sounded stubborn, she was well aware that Xiang Yi doted on Xiang Yi the most among all the men in the family. The boys doted on her, but Xiang Yi doted on her. Other families would carry their children until they were 2 or 3 years old at most, but Xiang Yi didn't even walk much when she went shopping when she was 4 or 5 years old. Xiang Yi was the one who carried her around. "I'm not going back. She should be the one avoiding me. How can I, an elder, avoid her?" Xiang Yi's grandfather was fierce and he waved his gentleman's cane in the air twice. "I'll go see what she's up to again. If she dares to mess around, I'll break her legs." Xiang Yi took the lead and walked in. Madame Xiang hurriedly followed him. There weren't many amusement parks in Tutu, and the rides were all low risk. They had a wide view and could see everything at a glance. As soon as Xiang Yi's grandfather, Madame Xiang, entered, she saw Li Jinyu and old Zhang, who were still on the merry-go-round, were having a great time. At this moment, it was already at 4 times the speed, and the merry-go-round had turned into a flying merry-go-round. Although Xiang Yin was old, he still had a sharp sense of hearing and sight. However, it took him some effort to see the faces of the two people clearly. Xiang Yin hollered, "This wretched lass has such poor taste. Not at all like him." Madame Xiang took out her reading glasses and gracefully put them on. After looking at them for a while, she sighed in melancholy. How could this be? Each one was uglier than the other. And each one was older than the other. Little Tutu's taste in men was it was too horrible to look at. All of a sudden, Xiang Yin noticed that there was some movement coming from the car that Tutu had crashed into. He squinted his sharp eyes and vaguely saw Shui's back. He couldn't help but mutter, "This seems okay, Madame Xiang." "Old man, what did you say?" Xiang Yin cleared his throat and pretended to be fierce. "I'll go see what kind of wretched man she's found." Madame Xiang was even more worried. "Is this guy even older?" The two walked past the tripod where the camera was fixed. Li Jinyu and old Zhang were immersed in the childish joy of men and didn't notice the two of them at all. However, the netizens watching the live stream had sharp eyes. "Wow, that pair of grandparents is so trendy. Ooh, grandpa's tie and grandma's bag are of the same color. Wait, didn't Sister E say that this amusement park is not open to the public? Could it be that they are her elders? Huh? Doesn't that mean our Shui is going to meet her parents?" Chapter 333. On the other side, Xiang Yi was happily playing with Shui. There were 2 long bunny ears on the front of the bumper car, which would droop down like a lop-eared rabbit when they collided with each other. Jianghu rarely went to the amusement park after junior high school. The reason was simple. No matter how fun the amusement park was, it would be boring to play alone. After her parents got into an accident, she couldn't get over it for a long time and studied at home in elementary school. After junior high school, she kept skipping grades and was busy with her studies. Hence, she didn't have much time to socialize. The few friends whom she was close to had completely cut off contact with them because of that person in the past year. She felt that Shui was really kind and mature. Yet, she was willing to play such a childish game with her. She skillfully turned the steering wheel and locked onto Shui's position before accelerating towards Tutu's car. Halfway through, an old man appeared out of nowhere. Jianghu hurriedly stepped on the brakes, but due to inertia, she hit her head against the steering wheel. When she looked up, there was a red patch on her fair forehead. It was painful to look at. Jianghu couldn't help but frown. Jianghu's eyes lit up when she saw him. "Grandpa!" Jianghu immediately said, "Don't call me Grandpa. I'm not your grandpa. I don't have a granddaughter like you." His tone was cold and harsh, causing the light in Jianghu's eyes to dim. She lowered her eyelashes and adjusted her emotions for a few seconds before pressing the button to reverse the car. Tutu's car reversed a great distance, and the bunny ears on the front of the car had malfunctioned. They drooped down dejectedly and looked listless. Jianghu was speechless. "What? I told you not to call me Grandpa and you're really not going to do it? You're finally obedient." Jianghu didn't expect that he would get angry when Jianghu was disobedient. Now that she was obedient, he got even angrier. Madame Xiang was a few steps slower. When she walked over, she discovered that Jianghu had reversed the car and left without saying a word. Seeing that Xiang Yin's forehead and eyes were red, old Mrs. Xiang's heart melted and she waved at her. "Your grandpa is scaring you, ignore him. Be good, Tutu, come to grandma." Jianghu hesitated, wondering if she should go over. Xiang exclaimed, "Don't come over. I don't want to see you." Therefore, Little Rabbit backed the car further away. "Mr. Xiang, Madame Xiang." Shui had alighted from the car at some point and greeted the two elders in a warm voice. Then he began chatting with them naturally, and his manners were impeccable. After exchanging a few pleasantries, the topic turned back to Jianghu. Xiang Yi's grandfather said sarcastically, "She has the time to come to the amusement park with you but doesn't have the time to visit me at the old residence. I think she doesn't take me seriously at all." Shui said apologetically, "Grandpa, you've misunderstood. It's not that Sister E doesn't want to go. It's because of work. We're here today to shoot some material." He glanced in the direction of the merry-go-round, his temples twitching. "That's our show's director and cameraman. They're doing a live broadcast." Just as he was about to explain what a live broadcast meant, he heard Madame Xiang say, "Live broadcast? I've heard of it before. Live broadcasts sell goods. It's like shopping on TV. I've seen Mrs. Zhou's grandson next door teach her how to shop." She was really envious because neither she nor Xiang Yi knew how to shop. Shui smiled and asked, "Grandma, what do you want to buy? Do you want Sister E to come over and buy it for you?" Before Madame Xiang could answer, Xiang Yi interjected, "No." Chapter 334. Madame Xiang retorted, "Do you know how to do it?" Xiang Yi said guiltily, "I can learn." "You've already learned it several times," Madame Xiang said, exposing him mercilessly. Xiang Yi thought, "You're hurting my feelings, old woman." He retorted stubbornly, "Anyway, I don't want that wretched girl to teach me. I'm telling you, if she ignores me, I won't say a word to her either." Xiang Yi was full of energy and roaring loudly. Xiang Yi vaguely heard what he said and wanted to hide in a corner, but the car didn't move at all. She looked up and realized that Shui had pressed the switch with her fair and slender fingers. "Where are you going to hide?" Shui asked smilingly while looking down at her. Xiang Yi looked away and said, "I'm not hiding." She just felt a little aggrieved. It was clearly not her fault, but she had to be scolded by her grandfather who used to dote on her the most. Shui stared at her for a few seconds before leaning forward and squatting beside her. She said in a low and gentle voice, Sister E, running away is useful, but it's not the best way to solve problems. If you don't want to face it, I'll leave with you. If you're willing to face it, I'll stay with you too. Grandpa and Grandma aren't that scary, are they? His persuasive tone made Xiang Yi's heart waver. Sister E, if you're scared, you don't have to hide so far away. Shi Sui smirked and continued, just hide behind me. She didn't know why, but inexplicably, Xiang Yi was a little touched. She felt that Shi Sui was so mature while she was so childish. She didn't deserve to be a fan anymore. My grandpa is very painful when he beats people up. As a hot-tempered traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, Xiang Yin's grandpa would often say, I'll blow a swona at your grave, to his patients who refused to listen to his advice. He was also very ruthless when he beat people up, and Xiang Yin's uncle would often be beaten to tears. It's okay, I can take a beating. A few seconds later, Xiang Yi pursed her lips and said, okay then, I'll go see Grandpa. Xiang Yin rubbed her head gently. Sister E, you're so obedient. After Li Jianyu and old Zhang let go of themselves and reaped the joy, they finally remembered their original job. They hurriedly carried the camera and other live stream equipment to Xiang Yi. Coincidentally, he saw that Xiang Yi was driving Tutu's car and had Shi Sui sit in the front passenger seat. Xiang Yi even reminded him to fasten his seatbelt. Although Tutu's car was a two-seater, Shi Sui was tall and had long legs. After sitting in the car, the originally small space became even more cramped. Their arms seemed to be touching each other. The netizens in the live stream, haha, fastening the seatbelt is so cute. There are thousands of paths, but safety comes first. This car is so cute. He wanted it. I want it. The two of them drove to Xiang Yi's grandfather, Madame Xiang. Shi Sui got out of the car while Xiang Yi was still hesitating. The man chuckled and opened the car door for her. He drew a half-circle in the air with his hand, as if inviting a proud and elegant princess to dance. Princess Tu, please get out of the car. Xiang Yi was speechless. She was a little embarrassed, but she was also a little happy to have a way out. She got out of the car and tugged at the hem of her clothes uncomfortably. She said softly, hello, Grandpa and Grandma. Xiang Yin was speechless. She's calling me Grandpa again. She's so obedient. But does she think I'll forgive her just like that? How naive. I'm the most difficult old man to coax in this world. My wife is the most difficult old woman to coax in this world. Don't even think about coaxing us. To his surprise, Xiang Yi asked gently, Grandma, shall I teach you how to buy things in the live stream? Madame Xiang exclaimed, sure. Tutu is so sensible. Xiang Yin was speechless. Chapter 335. Old Mr. Xiang was confused and he hinted at Madame Xiang with his eyes. Didn't we agree to stand on the same side? Madame Xiang rolled her eyes at him. We didn't agree. Little Tutu is so obedient and soft, which means that Taoist Master Qin was right. The evil has already left. How can I not pamper and protect my granddaughter? Xiang Yi slowed down her speech and taught her in detail. Grandma, take out your cell phone first, then click on this orange app and click on the search box at the top. Madame Xiang didn't manage to learn it after listening to it once. Xiang Yi impatiently taught her the second time. Finally, Madame Xiang learned how to search for the live stream and clicked on the live stream that was ranked number 1 in real time. Dear viewers, this rag absorbs water and it's excellent. There are also several colors to choose from. It's priced at 59.99 yuan in the supermarket and 19.99 yuan in our live stream for a super low discount. The first 10,000 people to bid for the treasure will be given an additional 100 milliliters of natural, pollution-free fruit and vegetable detergent. The live stream host shouted enthusiastically, and at the critical moment, she suddenly exclaimed, our live stream is limited to 50,000 copies. Dear viewers, 54321, upload the link. Madame Xiang said anxiously, little Tutu, hurry up and buy it, otherwise, you won't be able to buy it. Xiang Yin was speechless. It's not like we don't have rag in our house. Besides, when have you ever done any housework? Madame Xiang barked. Shut up. Xiang Yin said. Seeing this scene in the live stream of Two Under One Roof, The netizens almost burst into laughter. I'm watching a live stream? Grandma looks just like the first time I saw a live stream selling goods. Ha ha ha, I can't take it anymore. Grandma is so cute when she's angry at Grandpa. Grandpa looks fierce, but I didn't expect him to be a henpecked husband. Looking at the interaction between her grandparents, Jianghu couldn't help but burst into laughter. She followed the live stream's instructions and grabbed the coupons before buying them. The screen showed that the order had been successfully placed. Madame Xiang was overjoyed. Great, great. We've got it. Jianghu said, Grandma, it's actually more than 50,000 was just a marketing tactic. Before he could finish his sentence, Shi Sui patted him on the shoulder. The young girl exchanged glances with him, understanding tacitly. As long as Grandma is happy, there's no need to expose her. Then, the host started to show the second product. This is a pair of men's sports shorts. It absorbs sweat and is easy to wear. Original price blah blah blah. Madame Xiang said in disdain, Little Tutu, isn't there a skip button? Jianghu shook her head. However, Xiang Yin was a little anxious. He hollered at the screen, Why are you speaking so quickly? Kids speak slowly. He didn't even hear it clearly. The netizens in the live stream. Reality, the reality of the world. Ha ha, does anyone want to go to the streamer's live stream and spam, speak slowly? My sister is the same. She's so obsessed with shopping for herself. When I asked her to buy me socks, she said you're not worthy cac. The live stream soon finished describing the product and Xiang Yin was obviously a little tempted. He egged Madame Xiang on. Old woman, buy it for me. Madame Xiang said leisurely, It's not like you don't have any pants to wear. It'd be a waste to buy so many. Xiang Yin was speechless. Madame Xiang did it on purpose. After getting along with Xiang Yin for decades, she had a firm grasp of his character. Sure enough, after being rejected by her, Xiang Yin crossed his arms angrily. He didn't want to buy it at first, but when he heard the live stream say that there were only 5,000 pairs left, he couldn't help but poke Xiangyi's arm. It was the kind of touch that caused him to leave immediately. He said arrogantly, Hey, buy it for me. Chapter 336. Xiangyi froze in shock. Is Grandpa talking to me? Seeing that she was ignoring him, Xiang Yin said reluctantly, I'll give you money. I won't take advantage of you. A faint smile appeared in Shi Sui's eyes. Madame Xiang turned around and covered her mouth as she snickered. Who was the one who said he was going to ignore little Tutu? How many minutes has it been? Xiangyi snapped back to reality and said, Grandpa, I'll buy it for you now. What color do you want? Xiang Yin humphed and said, Black one, it'll go well. He had learned the word, go well, from Madame Xiang. Women are so troublesome. They've been wearing couple outfits for decades and yet they don't get tired of it. He had no choice but to wear it with her. Xiangyi smiled and said, Okay. There were some haters in the live stream. She bought it just like that? She didn't even ask for his size. She's so careless. I'm dying of laughter. What kind of rich and beautiful girl is she? She's trying to please Grandpa with a pair of pants that cost more than 100 yuan. Serves Grandpa right for not liking her. After all, boys are meant to carry on the family name while girls are meant to be outsiders sooner or later. In the next second, Xiangyi said, Grandpa, I remember that you wear XL. Can I buy XXL pants for this pair of pants? It'll be more comfortable if the sweatpants are looser. Xiang Yin muttered softly, At least you still have some conscience. Madame Xiang said smilingly, Little Tutu, let me test you. What size shoes do your grandpa and I wear? Xiangyi blurted out without hesitation, Grandma wears 36 and Grandpa wears 43. Our little Tutu has such a good memory. Madame Xiang couldn't help but praise her. You've been meticulous ever since you were young. You're much more considerate than your brothers. Your grandpa and grandma's little jacket while the rest of them are at most military coats. As for your uncle, TSK, he can't even be considered a pair of underpants. Sure enough, Xiang Yi's uncle was being despised every day. In the live stream, this time, no one indulged the haters and they immediately started retorting. Xiang Yin? Do you know that the Qing dynasty? Do you still value boys over girls? You call this not attentive? Anyway, I don't even know how big my grandparents were. Those who are against Sister E, ask yourselves, do you have the patience to accompany the elderly? Do you have the patience to teach them how to use the internet over and over again? Jianghu accompanied the two elders to watch the live stream and bought a lot of things. However, this streamer did not expect that in just 10 minutes, 1 or 2 million people would flood into his live broadcast room. There wasn't a lot of traffic in the morning, but to be able to reach this number meant he was on fire. However, the streamer was confused. He did not understand how he became so popular. Moreover, there was a group of people in the live broadcast room who were spamming something like, "Speak slowly." What kind of joke was this? Is this a new type of internet slang? The clip of Jianghu teaching her grandparents how to watch the live broadcast was also edited and posted on a video website. Unexpectedly, it became popular. In just a few hours, the number of likes had exceeded 200,000 and the number of shares had reached tens of thousands. This video is so nice. You speak better than me. He posted it in the family group chat. My mom and aunts have learned to watch live streams and shop online. My grandparents said that this girl is beautiful and kind-hearted. Judging from the way she looks at me, I suspect that Sister E is their biological granddaughter. It was also from this day onwards that Jianghu began to gain a large number of middle-aged and elderly mother fans, milk powder fans, and milk powder fans. Her popularity soared. When her grandparents were satisfied with the shopping, Jianghu finally turned off the live stream on her cell phone. Madame Xiang said softly, "Old rabbit, look, little Tutu has returned to her original self." Xiang Yin said awkwardly, "I haven't forgiven her yet. Does she think she can coax me with such a simple method? She only managed to coax 1% of me." Chapter 337. Xiang Yin stole a glance at Jianghu, only to discover Shui handed him a bottle of water and even took the initiative to unscrew the cap. Xiang Yin squinted and fixed his gaze on her. She was quite pleasing to the eye just now, but now, she's so annoying. However, Madame Xiang mistakenly thought that the two of them were in a relationship. Perhaps because of Li Jinyu and old Zhang, she was more and more satisfied with Shui. In the manner, Sanction slept until 9 o'clock in the morning, which was a rare indulgence for him. According to his habit, he read the financial headlines while drinking black coffee and then glanced at the stock charts. Immediately afterwards, Sanction began to process his emails. Although he was on vacation, there were still some things that he had to take care of. Halfway through replying to the English email, his cell phone vibrated. He picked it up to take a look, only to see that it was a message from Guardian of the best Xiangyi in the world. "Guardian, sorry to disturb you, I've sorted out the details of the case and sent them to you. Can I send the document to you directly on WeChat?" Sanction expressed assent. Soon, Guardian sent the document over. Sanction opened it and skimmed through it before carefully combing through it. The gist of it was that Guardian's good friend had graduated from college this year and she majored in chemistry. When she applied for a job, she came in first in the written test and interview. However, in the end, she was not hired and a man who ranked lower than her was hired instead. She called the HR department to inquire about it, but the reply she received was that the position was more suitable for men. Guardian's good friend was furious, but she had just graduated and didn't have the money to file a lawsuit. Guardian wanted to seek help from a public interest lawyer on Weibo, so she tried to post it. She didn't expect to receive a reply from Sanction. She was already very grateful. After learning that Sanction was Sister Yi's elder brother, she felt even more embarrassed because she felt that she had caused trouble for Sanction and indirectly for Sister Yi. "Guardian, is this lawsuit easy to fight? If it's a waste of time, forget it. My friend is looking for a new job." Guardian, pitiful. JPG. In the beginning, she and her good friend were indeed furious, but as time passed, they had no choice but to accept it. After all, there was too much inequality in this society. They were just two ordinary freshmen. How could they fight against those cruel rules? "Chin, I'll arrange for someone to follow up." "Chin, do you have any more expression packs?" The Guardian on the other end of the screen was stunned for a moment. Only then did he realize that the emoticon she had just sent was made from Sister Yi's GIF. Guardian, yes, yes. She hurriedly sent over the dozens of sister emojis she had made. On the other end of the screen, Sanction was expressionless and serious. He saved the emojis one by one. Chin, for the sake of the emoji pack, I will personally take charge of this case. The trial is expected to start in 3 days. You and your friend should prepare for it. Guardian? Did she see wrongly? The top lawyer in the country, a big shot who only took on cases in the millions, was actually going to personally take on such a small case. Guardian was instantly terrified. This is not necessary. Moreover, Sanction was not a public interest lawyer. His legal fees were very, very expensive. Even if Sanction didn't want it, she and her friend should give him some. She reckoned that she and her friend would have to eat dirt for the next few months. Buzz, she lowered her head and looked at her phone. Chin. In the future, if you have any tutu emojis, send them to me as soon as possible. Thank you. After turning off the screen, Sanction returned to his cold, noble, and elegant appearance. Chapter 338. At the amusement park. When Li Jinyu heard that Madame Xiang wanted to take a photo, he volunteered to do it for her. Xiang Yin looked extremely displeased. What? Are you trying to snatch my job? Shi Sui said, why don't we all take a photo? Grandma, you can use the photo of whoever you like. Madame Xiang nodded gracefully and said, thank you for the trouble then. Hence, the netizens in the live stream witnessed Madame Xiang striking a pose that was commonly used throughout the country, a shawl. Director Li is so hardworking. He's even lying on the ground to take a photo. Ha, damn. I suspect that Madame Xiang is spying on our family life. It's so realistic. My mother and aunt always take this pose when they go to scenic spots. After changing a few poses, Madame Xiang came over to take a look at the photos. Li Jinyu was also very good at it. After getting Madame Xiang's permission, he got old Zhang to do a close-up of everyone's cell phones. First, it was Xiang Yi's. Her photos were quite decent, which was not bad. Next was Li Jinyu's photo, which was impressive as he took a beautiful photo. Next was Shi Sui's photo, which was surprisingly good at taking photos and made Madame Xiang look warm and affectionate. Finally, it was Xiang Yin's turn. The netizens in the live stream mocked mercilessly. Grandpa, you're a straight man. You've made Grandma look like a dot in the photo. Thank you, I'm offended. Even my boyfriend looks so ugly when he takes photos of me. Haha, I even saw several photos with their eyes closed. They were really perfect when Grandma blinked. Madame Xiang adjusted her shawl and said with a smile, I hereby announce that the best photo goes to little Tutu. Before she could finish, someone criticized her. Even if you're biased, you shouldn't be like this, right? Anyone can tell that Director Li and Shi Sui have done a good job. I'm speechless. The next second, Madame Xiang said leisurely, little Tutu, Shi Sui, and little Li are tied for first place. She winked at the three of them and said, there will be rewards for all of you later. The netizens in front of the screen were stunned for a moment before they realized how brilliant Madame Xiang's EQ was. Ah, Grandma is so gentle. I don't care, I want to cheer for Grandma. Xiang Yin panicked. What about me? Second? Madame Xiang said in disdain, you wish. You're last. It could be said that the double standards were incisively and vividly displayed. Feeling aggrieved and infuriated, Xiang Yin turned around and ignored Madame Xiang. He asked Xiang Yi fiercely, are my photos really that bad? Xiang Yi, what kind of question was this? Just as she was struggling with how to answer, Shi Sui naturally continued, Grandpa, Grandma must like the photos you took the most because you're the person she likes the most. Xiang Yin's face stiffened. 1 second, 2 seconds. In the third second, the corners of his mouth curled up with joy. This little imp is quite eloquent. However, in the blink of an eye, he recalled the scene of Shi Sui handing Xiang Yi a glass of water just now, and his expression immediately changed. Glib tongue. What if he bullies little Tutu in the future? I can't have such a man. The netizens watching the live stream all expressed that Xiang Yin's facial expression was textbook level. Of course, Madame Xiang could guess Xiang Yin's thoughts. She found an excuse to ask him to go to the side to take photos of the flowers and plants. She then affectionately held Shui's hand. "Grandson-in-law, you must take good care of Tutu." Xiangyi was confused. "Grandma, did you misunderstand something?" She was about to explain, but Shui smiled and said, "Grandma, don't stand on ceremony with me. It's my duty to take care of Tutu." Xiangyi was dumbfounded. Chapter 339. Her cherry lips quivered and she muttered, "No, he's not." Xiangyi suddenly felt an arm around her shoulder and was momentarily at a loss for words. She looked at Shui in astonishment. Shui's expression remained the same as he leaned over and whispered a few words into her ear. Xiangyi was speechless. Shui said that since Grandma was so happy, he didn't want to disappoint her and said that he could reluctantly pretend to be her boyfriend. It sounded like he was being considerate of her and Grandma, but Xiangyi felt that something was amiss. The fans who were watching the live stream were flabbergasted. This is the ugly husband meeting the parents, right? Ugly? Mind your words, how is our Shui ugly? Official announcement? Shui didn't deny that Grandma called him her grandson-in-law, which means he's acquiescing. Madame Xiang couldn't help but cover her mouth and snicker when she saw how harmonious and intimate the two of them were. "Seems like my dear Tutu and her grandson-in-law have a good relationship." Madame Xiang thought that it was good for girls to be in a relationship a few times as they would become more mature when it came to relationships. Xiang Yin, who was standing nearby, saw it. His eyes were about to pop out of their sockets and he hollered, "Rascal! Get your hands off me! Get them off me!" Xiangyi shuddered in shock. Shui's hand on her shoulder was still very stable. Xiang Yin stopped taking pictures of the flowers and plants and instead rushed over aggressively, hitting Shui with his walking stick. Shui didn't dodge and instead took the hit. Xiang Yin was so strong that Xiangyi could hear the muffled sound of the walking stick hitting her flesh. "Grandpa! Old man!" Xiang Yin ignored the two of them and barked at Shui. "You're not allowed to touch our Tutu. Our Tutu is such an adorable girl, you're not worthy of her at all. Don't try to get up to any tricks. As long as I'm around, don't even think about abducting Tutu." He took a deep breath and added fiercely, "No man can do it." When the netizens in the live stream saw this scene, some were worried, while others were gloating. "Wow, Grandpa is so fierce, it must have hurt a lot. Glass shards again? Grandpa, don't torture them, Q. Why is this old man so cocky? How dare you look down on our Shui? Please, your granddaughter is the one who doesn't deserve it." That's great, please break them up. I've long disliked the vase fairy. Why does she get all the good things? She should just die alone as an old nun. Even Li Jianghu thought that Shui was going to fail this time. As a director, especially a variety show director, he was very good at reading people's eyes. Artistes who used a love script to act and those who truly liked someone were completely different. He had long seen through Shui's feelings for Sister Yi. Shui has been too careless this time. She had improved Madame Xiang's impression of her but caused Xiang Yi's grandfather to detest her greatly. That was simply not worth the loss. Unexpectedly, before Xiang Yi's grandfather swung his cane again, Xiangyi pulled Shui back with one hand and grabbed Xiang Yi's cane with the other. "Grandpa, you've misunderstood, I'm not going to his house." Xiang Yi's grandfather hollered, "Do you still want him to marry into our family?" Madame Xiang coughed lightly and said, "It's not impossible." Xiang Yi's grandfather flew into a rage. "I don't agree to this marriage." He straightened his back and waited for Xiang Yi to promise him that she would draw a clear line between her and Xiang Yi. In the next second, Xiang Yi swallowed her saliva and ran away with Shui. The netizens were dumbfounded. Xiang Yi's grandfather was speechless. "What? You want to elope?" Chapter 340. Xiang Yi and Shui were running so fast that Li Jianghu and old Zhang chased after them for a long time but still couldn't catch up. Instead, they were exhausted. "Oh my God, I can't take it anymore, I'm exhausted," Li Jianghu said, panting heavily. Old Zhang was carrying equipment that weighed dozens of kilograms and was so tired that he couldn't speak. Li Jianghu leaned in front of the camera and said, Hee hee, maybe you guys want to see the two of us continue the merry-go-round? The netizens were appalled. Ah, go away. You're so ugly. Sure sway Sister E, you're so beautiful. Director Lee, you're so ugly. Sway, perform a 360-degree Thomas spin for Daddy and I'll forgive you. Li Jianyu was quite good at controlling the situation. Amidst the laughter, he temporarily turned off the live stream. He muttered to himself, Daddy sure is indeed Daddy sure. He's able to turn the tables and show off. So what if I offend Xiang E? So what if I get beaten up? I got Sister E. On the other hand, after making sure that they were far enough away, Xiang Yi breathed a sigh of relief and said, You scared me to death. Grandpa is so fierce. She felt that if they didn't leave now, Grandpa would break Sher Sui's legs. Sher Sui ran with her for such a long distance, but his breathing was not irregular at all. In fact, he was even in the mood to tease her. Sister E-hand. Xiang Yi hurriedly let go of his hand as if she had been electrocuted. Don't get me wrong, I'm just afraid that you'll get beaten up by Grandpa. Yes, I know. Meeting the man's smiling eyes, Xiang Yi suddenly had a feeling of discomfort. Ahem, I'll call Grandma and then we'll go pick up Xiao Naofu. Xiang Yi went to the side to make a call. Sher Sui could vaguely hear her acting coquettishly. When she was acting coquettishly, her voice was gentle and soft, but it was sweet. However, when she returned to his side, she regained her composure and said, Grandma said that she would help me coax Grandpa. But then again, why do the two of them think that we're in love? The girl was confused. The actor who had caused the misunderstanding to deepen didn't change his expression. Maybe it's because my brother is too likable. Xiang Yi, ? Don't you know that you have to make an appointment to go on a blind date with your brother during the new year? Xiang Yi? She was shocked. No, I'm no longer a fan. I'm not fit to be a fan. Is Sher Sui that popular in the matchmaking market? No wonder Grandma liked him so much. She was curious. What does it feel like to go on a blind date? Is there really such a weirdo as described on the internet? An Nan had previously shared a love gossip post with her, scolding those top-notch blind dates. Sher Sui, do you want to know? He chuckled softly. Next New Year, how about I give you a walk-in experience? Xiang Yi thought he was joking and said, It's not right to cut in line. Why don't I line up? Sher Sui stopped in her tracks. Then, as if nothing had happened, she caught up with her. Okay, I'll call you when it's your turn. At the Logic Esports base. Xiang Yi and the rest arrived at 11 o'clock. Apart from Xiao Naofu, who was still alive and kicking, no one else had woken up. At this moment, in the living room, Xiang Yi stared at the huge cat tree, the luxurious cat villa, and the rich cat playground and fell into deep thought. Did I treat Xiao Naofu too badly? Brother and the rest are too nice to Xiao Naofu. She somehow felt like a poor child who had gone to a rich relative's house to be pampered. Hearing the footsteps, Xiao Naofu turned around and wagged its tail excitedly before scurrying toward Xiang Yi. Oh, stupid woman. I want a hug. I want a kiss. All of a sudden, a pair of large hands grabbed the back of Xiao Naofu's neck and raised it in front of him, smiling lazily. Xiao Naofu, long time no see. Do you want a kiss with your brother? Get lost, damn it. Chapter 341. Sher Sui's peach blossom eyes curved slightly as a playful smile flashed across his face. He leaned down and pretended to kiss Xiao Naofu. His pale thin lips were getting closer and closer to Xiao Naofu. Meow meow meow. Xiao Naofu stretched out its chubby paws and desperately blocked Sher Sui's lips, not allowing him to get any closer. Sher Sui's eyes flashed with a sinister light as he slowly retreated. Xiao Naofu breathed a sigh of relief. Woo, this hoo-hoo has protected his innocence. Suddenly, Sher Sui made a sound of surprise. Sister E, do you think Xiao Naofu is bald? Xiang Yi leaned over to take a closer look and said worriedly, It seems to be a little. The fur on the top of Xiao Naofu's head was obviously thinner than the rest of his body. Just how long has fourth brother been stroking me in these few days? Xiao Naofu's eyes widened as it raised its paws and rubbed its head. Did this hoo-hoo's fur really become thinner? Then wouldn't it become a bald tiger? Unexpectedly, What greeted it was a sudden kiss from Shui. With a soft pop sound, the man's lips were imprinted on Xiao Naofu's cheek. Xiao Naofu, rumble, the whole world began to collapse. It was as if it had been struck by lightning as it stared blankly at Shui. "TSK, why are you shedding fur?" Shui's lips curled into a devilish smile. "It doesn't taste good at all when I kiss you." Xiao Naofu. "Dogman, **CK. You mother **cur, I'm going to bite you to death." It opened its mouth wide and revealed its sharp teeth, looking like it was going to fight Shui to the death. But in the next second, it fell into a warm and fragrant embrace. "Xiao Naofu, don't bite." Xiangyi spoke in a tone like she was educating a child. Xiao Naofu pointed its paws at Shui. "Woo, he kissed me. Dog man, he kissed me." Xiangyi understood what it meant. She coaxed it softly. "Brother Shui kissed you because he likes you." Shui added fuel to the fire. "Yes, I never kiss other people's kittens." Xiao Naofu was so angry that he lost his mind. "Woof, woof, woof." He gradually turned into a dog. Li Jinyu and old Zhang, who were watching from the side, were about to go crazy with laughter. "Xiangyi, Tong Tong, do you still remember that you are a little tiger? Which little tiger in the world would bark like a dog?" Okay, don't be angry anymore. Our Xiao Naofu is the most obedient." Xiangyi paced back and forth with it in her arms, patiently coaxing it for a few minutes. Xiao Naofu sniffled and snuggled into Xiangyi's arms, rubbing its head against her cloud-like softness. Not far away, Shui's dark eyes suddenly narrowed. After Xiao Naofu whined and whined for a long time, fourth brother Xiangyu woke up. He washed up as fast as he could and didn't even have time to comb his hair. The first thing he did was to go downstairs to feed Xiao Naofu cat food. Seeing Xiangyu's figure, Li Jinyu motioned for old Zhang to start the livestream. The first scene of the livestream was the esports god's sleepy appearance with his hair standing on end. "Sister?" His voice was slightly hoarse as he had just woken up. "Brother, I'm here to take Xiao Naofu home." Xiangyu was silent. He took Xiao Naofu from her arms and skillfully rubbed its head. He said coldly, "Changing environments often is not good for cats' mental health." The netizens in the livestream, "I love Smog's look when he just woke up. Haha, Sameogu is rubbing the cat like he's making meatballs. Sameogu, without Xiao Naofu, it's not good for my mental health." Chapter 342. Haha, you keep pretending. I still have the video of you snorting cats last time. Xiangyi, let's eat first, we'll ask Xiao Naofu for his opinion later. Xiangyu nodded coldly. What do you want to eat? I'll order takeout. I've prepared the ingredients. Xiangyi's eyes curved slightly, as if there was a gentle moonlight hidden in her eyes. Brother, let me cook for you guys. Xiangyu said in all seriousness, you do yours, I'll order mine. His sister's food belonged to him. Takeout belonged to Wander and the other animals. The esports base had hired an auntie to cook, but the players were still used to ordering takeout. The auntie helped Xiangyi and soon, the aroma of food began to waft out of the kitchen. The smell was so fragrant that the players who couldn't be woken up by the alarm clock all woke up one by one. Auntie, what did you make today? It smells so good. Amazing, it's braised pork, right? I'll have 2 bowls of rice later. I think I can smell the pork rib soup. Sob, I'm so hungry. Do you have any snacks to fill my stomach? Xiangyu waited until they were almost done with their discussion before he casually said, my sister is here. Huh. Everyone was shocked. They had signed a contract with the livestream software to stream for a certain amount of time every month. Occasionally, they would watch the live streams of other streamers, but there was one live stream program that everyone had to watch in addition to the replay videos of the competition. That was Xiangyi's edited version of her cooking. It was a godly meal. Watching her cook was simply a form of enjoyment. They didn't expect that Xiangyi would come to their esports base to cook today. The group of youngsters immediately began to fawn over Xiangyu. I'll scoop Xiao Naofu's poop today. Smog, you're my good brother, so your sister is our sister too. Brother, do you want some water? Do you want ice water, hot water, or warm water? Warm water? Warm water? He was undoubtedly a bootlicker. Xiangyu waved his phone. I ordered takeout for you guys. I'll eat my sister's cooking later, you guys eat takeout. Stingy. Forget it if you don't want to eat. Takeout is just as delicious. Just as he finished speaking, the takeout and Xiangyi's dishes were served at the same time. Xiangyu ordered the crayfish that they often ate, as well as a barbecue wrapped in foil, which was still warm after being unwrapped. Xiangyi made braised pork with quail eggs, braised prawns, braised gourd with ginger sauce, stir-fried vegetables with mushrooms, and pork ribs with corn soup. The main dish was curry chicken omelet rice. I made a few home-cooked dishes. Have a taste and see if you like them, Xiangyi said gently. Wander and the others first tasted the crayfish and barbecue. Then, under Xiangyu's murderous gaze, each of them took a bite of Xiangyi's food. The braised pork was fatty but not greasy. It was soft after being stewed. The fried quail egg had a texture similar to that of a tiger's skin. It was full of sugar-colored syrup. The prawns were light red and glossy, fresh, salty, and slightly sweet. The sponge gourd was refreshing and delicious, tender and fragrant. The omelet rice mixed with curry, the unique spiciness of curry and the tender and smooth egg skin were a perfect match. There was nothing more blissful than scooping a big mouthful into one's mouth. This, too good, eat. Delicious. So delicious. What kind of trash is takeout? The group of young teenagers were not even afraid of Xiangyu. They buried their heads in the food crazily. Bianyu asked, Sister, it must be hard for you to descend to the mortal world, right? Sister, do you play games? I'll take you flying. Sister, do you still need a younger brother? Chapter 343. The youths ate until the corners of their mouths were glossy and their cheeks were puffed up. The netizens commented, I'm used to it. Miss Xiang is really a Mary Sue. Vicissitudes of life lighting up smoke. I suspect that Sister E has drugged the food. Otherwise, why is everyone eating so happily? Are these still the rebellious and wild kids who made the club manager and coach worry so much? How can they become obedient in front of Xiangyi? While Xiangyi was feeding Xiao Naofu the prawns, the boys turned to look at Shui. Brother Shui. Captain Wander couldn't care less about table manners. While chewing, he asked, Are there any requirements for appearing on your show? Shui raised her eyebrows and said, I'm afraid you'll have to ask the director. Wander looked at Li Jinyu and asked, Uncle, can we appear on your show? Li Jinyu was confused. I'm only 2 years older than Shui. Why is Shui her brother and I'm her uncle? I'll give you 10 seconds to reorganize your words, Li Jinyu said sternly with a sullen expression. Wander was stunned for a moment before coming to a sudden realization. He exclaimed loudly, Uncle, can you give us a chance? Li Jinyu was speechless. The comments section of the live stream was flooded with haha comments. Li Jinyu said calmly, No, you guys are too expensive, we can't afford to hire you. The esports industry in China was very popular, and with the development of live streaming, the commercial value of esports players was now no less than that of celebrities. It would be fine to hire 1 or 2 people, but with so many of them, they really couldn't afford to hire them. Wander immediately exclaimed, Uncle, I can do it for free. Shui chimed in, I don't want it either. Xiao Yang said shyly, As long as I'm full. Li Jinyu was speechless. Sister E, you're indeed worthy of your reputation. You've saved the program team a 7-figure sum of money with just 1 meal. Isn't it just calling me uncle? What's the big deal? You can even call me grandpa. Li Jinyu revealed a silly smile as if a pie had fallen from the sky. After the meal, the youngsters were all stuffed. They were all slumped on the sofa or beside the coffee table like a group of salted fish. Xiangyi placed Xiao Naofu on the ground, then pointed at Xiangyu, and then at herself. Do you want to stay with Big Brother, or come home with me? Xiangyu was full of confidence. He had doted on Fu Fu so much that he could get whatever he wanted. He even gave his own bed to Fu Fu as a cat bed. Therefore, Fu Fu would definitely choose him. The next second, Xiao Naofu didn't even look at him as it happily jumped into Xiangyi's arms and hummed softly. Meow, ah meow, stupid woman. Bring this hoo home. Xiang Yu's face was filled with disbelief. How could this be? How could this be? Was the love that Fu Fu had for him all these years all fake? Coincidentally, the camera gave him a close-up and the netizens in the live stream couldn't stop laughing. So love will disappear, right? DBQ Sameogu is really pitiful, but I really want to laugh. Poor Sameogu, he's finally going to find out that Xiao Naofu is a green TB asterisk T. Xiangyi carried Xiao Naofu in her arms and got ready to leave. Wait! Xiang Yu suddenly called out to her, his eyes falling on her arms. Fu, is there something that I haven't done well enough? Xiao Naofu blinked its clear, ice blue cat eyes and meowed. Meow meow, goodbye, big brother. I'll miss you. Xiang Yu gazed at it deeply and said in a low voice, Fu Fu, I'll come and see you. Xiao Naofu turned its head and nestled in Xiangyi's arms with a mischievous smile. Miss you? No way. Sad? No way. Hee, I'm just pretending. Chapter 344. This scene was completely recorded by the camera. Li Jianyu's original intention was to film Smog and Cat 2.0, but to his surprise, he managed to capture the scene of the scumbag Xiao Naofu. Green tea Xiao Naofu, scumbag cat. Damn it, this smile is so smart, it's really smart. I suggest everyone hit the scumbag Xiao Naofu on the public chat. Everyone thought that apart from Shi Sui, Xiao Naofu was invincible. However, when Xiangyi and the others returned to the manor, they discovered that there was an adorable little Shiba Inu at home. Its back was light yellow, and its belly was cream-colored. Its eyes were watery and it was lying on the ground obediently. Sanction said coldly, This is a dog that Uncle's friend gave him. He wants you to take care of it for him for a few days. Its name is, he reluctantly said, Little Shiji. The man, who was as cold as a snow-capped mountain, uttered these 3 words with an inexplicably cute accent. Xiangyi asked, Little lion? Its fur color does resemble a lion. Sanction said sternly, It's little Shiji. Xiangyi bent forward and rubbed little Shiji's head tentatively. The little Shiba Inu rubbed against her palm obediently. Woof, it's so cute, I'll make you some delicious food later. Woof woof, when Xiao Naofu saw this scene, it instantly felt as if the world was collapsing. Am I not this stupid woman's favorite? She actually wants to? She's going to cook for this mutt? Xiao Naofu was so infuriated that he scurried over on his short legs and roared at little Shiji. Meow. Meow! Little Shiji, Omega, it stared at Xiao Naofu for a few seconds and took the initiative to lick Xiao Naofu's fur to show its friendliness. Xiao Naofu thought, damn it, my body is so dirty. It waved its paws angrily and slapped little Shiji's face. Little Shiji did not retaliate after being hit and simply took a few steps back, feeling a little aggrieved. Xiao Naofu refused to give up and wanted to hit it again. Its body was suddenly suspended in the air. Xiangyi had picked it up. The little cat felt so wrong that it wanted to die. Meow meow meow, let this dog go. I'm the only one in this house. Xiao Naofu, it's only staying for a few days. Xiangyi tried to reason with it. Little uncle will take it away when the time comes. Xiao Naofu, I won't listen, I won't listen. It wriggled and broke free from Xiangyi's arms. It jumped onto the table and chose Xiangyi's cup. It waved its meaty claws and moved the cup to the edge of the table. Meow! Li Jinyu said in surprise, Is it threatening you, Sister E? Xiangyi. I think so. Little Shiji had no idea what was going on at all. It rubbed Xiangyi's calf affectionately, seemingly wanting her to rub its head. Seeing this scene, Xiao Naofu fumed and turned on its little jerk mode. Bang! The cup fell to the ground. Still not appeased, Xiao Naofu jumped onto the sofa and stepped on Tutu's plushie a few times. It then sat down aggrievedly and shook its chubby body while sobbing. Xiangyi's heart immediately softened. How could she bear to scold it? Just as she was thinking about how to coax Xiao Naofu, Shi Sui stuffed something into her hand. Xiangyi looked down to see that it was little Shiji's leash. Sister E, Let's go walk the dog, she said without mentioning Xiao Naofu. However, Xiao Naofu leaped over like a whirlwind. Meow. Its tone became more and more childish and pitiful. Meow meow, stupid woman, you're not allowed to walk this dog. At most, I'll let you walk it, okay? Chapter 345. 5 minutes later. Shi Sui held onto little Shiji's leash while Xiangyi carried Xiao Naofu in her arms. The two of them took a stroll in the shade of the garden. Xiao Naofu rested its meaty paws on Xiangyi's shoulder and gave little Shiji a smug look. Little Shiji barked foolishly. Woof! Xiao Naofu humphed. It then glanced at Shi Sui smugly. A dog-like man walking a dog. What a perfect match. Shi Sui raised her eyebrows with a look that seemed to be saying, I advise you not to be so arrogant. Xiao Naofu was speechless. I'm scared. It hugged Xiangyi tightly and said in a childish voice, Meow. Xiangyi said helplessly, Xiao Naofu, how many meals do you eat a day at Fourth Brother's place? It had only been a few days and it had obviously gained weight. Xiao Naofu felt extremely guilty. I just have 3 meals a day plus canned food, dried meat, dried fish, nutrition cream, hair removal cream, and some snacks, Shi Sui said. Actually, I have a way to make Xiao Naofu and little Shiji live in harmony. Xiangyi's eyes lit up. Huh. Shi Sui pushed her glasses up her nose and said with a smile, Why don't we send Xiao Naofu away? Xiao Naofu was speechless. Listen, is that even human? Shi Sui winked at Xiangyi. The girl understood and cooperated with him tacitly. I think we should give it to second brother. He'll definitely design a scientific and nutritious meal plan. It'll be just nice for Xiao Naofu to lose weight. Second brother, isn't that the devil Xiangli? If I go, won't I be taken to be sterilized? Xiao Naofu panicked. Meow, I don't want to go to second brother's place. Shi Sui said nonchalantly, little Shiji is so obedient and eats so little. It can even guard the house. Xiao Naofu's ears twitched and it meowed anxiously. Meow meow meow. This hoo-hoo can also be obedient. I can also be obedient. I can also eat less. As for guarding the house, it also can. Therefore, in order to express its ferocity, Xiao Naofu made its fiercest expression. Woof woof woof. Xiangyi tried hard to hold back her laughter and quietly mouthed to Shi Sui, Is it really okay for us to trick it like this? Shi Sui's expression did not change. Children will only grow up after being beaten up. Little Shiji, woof. His dark eyes were filled with confusion. He seemed to be wondering if Xiao Naofu was his own kind. Shi Sui praised her, well, not bad. She screamed so fiercely that the bad guys must have been scared away. Xiao Naofu was elated by the praise. Little Shiji responded heartlessly, woof, woof. But in Xiao Naofu's eyes, this dog was provoking it. Woof, 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 woof. Xiangyi couldn't help but turn her face away and laugh. Not far away, Li Jinyu was squatting on the steps, completely convinced. Daddy, sure, even a dog isn't as good as you? He looked at the screen of his cell phone, feeling very vexed. Just a few minutes ago, Li Jinyu received a message from his friend, saying that Muyao TV's livestream program, Eating Well for All 3 Meals, was also going to premiere in a primetime slot on the satellite channel. The format of Eating Well for All 3 Meals was a complete copy of 2 Under One Roof, which was already enough to make Li Jinyu feel frustrated. Now that one of them was going to premiere online and the other on a satellite channel, he felt even more upset. Although the television industry was declining and there hadn't been a variety show that broke the 2% rating for a long time, broadcasting on television meant that it had a greater influence and a wider audience. Chapter 346. On the other hand, if 2 Under One Roof was only broadcasted on the internet, the audience would still be mostly young people. At present, 2 Under One Roof was far ahead of the rest in terms of viewership ratings. However, if one day, the popularity of Eating Well for All 3 Meals increased, perhaps Li Gui would become Li Kuei in the eyes of the public. Are the efforts of the production team, Shi Sui, and Sister Yi going to go down the drain just like that? On Friday, the thing that Li Jinyu was most worried about happened. Eating Well for All 3 Meals premiered on Muyao TV and other major online platforms during the prime time slot at 8 o'clock. Due to the novel theme, Zhuyi, who was a martial arts star, and Jianghu, who was a famous singer with countless hit songs, the viewership ratings exceeded 1.8% within 10 minutes of the broadcast. This was almost the highest viewership ratings for a domestic variety show in the past 3 years. In terms of online viewership, Eating Well for All 3 Meals was also ahead of Two Under One Roof, and the gap between them seemed to be widening. Gradually, some negative comments began to appear on the internet. Eating Well for All 3 Meals is so interesting. I strongly recommend it, but what the hell is Two Under One Roof? Is it plagiarism? Muyao TV is awesome. This is the first time that our whole family can watch a variety show together. Two Under One Roof is so disgusting. They're just following the trend. Hui and Jianghu have been married for so many years, but they're still so sweet. This is what love looks like at its best. Previously, Shi Sui and Xiangyi were all the talk about being a couple every day. I just want to say that what's fake can't be real, and what's real can't be fake. When Li Jinyu saw these comments, he was so angry that he almost smashed his cell phone. Admittedly, he knew that Muyao TV must have done something, such as hiring fake reviewers to spread rumors, but there were even more people who began to criticize Two Under One Roof without knowing the truth at all. Li Jinyu looked at Xiangyi, who was cooking in the kitchen. The girl's hair was tied into a bun, and her movements were neat and tidy. Shi Sui, who was beside her, although one of her arms was injured, she was still helping out, such as passing things or interacting with the netizens. In fact, it was very tiring to do a live broadcast every day, and the duration had long exceeded the original contract they had signed. However, Shi Sui and Xiangyi had never complained, and the staff of the program were also holding their breaths. They wanted to turn Two Under One Roof into the most popular variety show of the summer. But what should he do now? Li Jinyu was at a loss. It wasn't that he hadn't thought of having Two Under One Roof broadcast on TV, but he had been working at Muyao TV for so many years, so his connections were limited. He was just a variety show director, and he didn't have much say in it. The higher-ups of other satellite TV stations were not people he could come into contact with. Not good, Director Li. The assistant ran over in a low voice and showed him the comments in the live broadcast room. Li Jianyu's expression changed drastically. Is this the show that plagiarized Eating Well for All 3 Meals? Jianghu is cooking and you're cooking too? Have some shame. Shi Sui originally had a good impression of him, but I didn't expect him to have no bottom line. He's really willing to do anything for money. I'm dying of laughter. They're a real couple, and that's called showing off their love. They're not lovers at all, yet they're still trying to hype things up. They're really imitating others. Someone in the live broadcast room tried to explain, but the new viewers didn't listen at all. They left after scolding, and then new viewers flooded in. Li Jinyu couldn't help but curse. The assistant was worried. Director Li, what should we do now? If this goes on, the reputation of our show will be ruined. All of a sudden, the crisp sound of high heels could be heard from afar. Chapter 347. Every sound was like the beat of a drum, hitting his heart rhythmically. Good evening, Director Li. A familiar female voice sounded in Li Jianyu's ears. He turned around and was stunned. Director Ruan? It was Ruan Qing, the deputy director of Muyao TV. Ruan Qing's vision and ability were unquestionable. Back then he had several variety show proposals, but no one was interested in them at first. Every time, Ruan Qing was the one who recognized his talent and helped him get a few popular TV variety shows. I've already resigned. Ruan Qing was wearing a blouse, a long skirt, and a geometric pattern scarf. Her makeup was exquisite and proper, and she exuded the elegant charm of a mature woman. Li Jinyu rubbed his hands helplessly and asked, "Is that so? May I know what brings you here today?" As a social worker, he was still a little nervous when facing his former boss. Ruan Qing chuckled and said, "I saw the recruitment notice for your program." Li Jinyu was confused. Ruan Qing pulled out a document from her bag and said, "This is my resume." Li Jinyu was dumbfounded. He was dumbfounded and looked at this scene in disbelief. In the glass greenhouse, the warm-toned glass lamps refracted magnificent and bright colors. In just a few minutes, Ruan Qing had successfully joined two under one roof. Li Jianyu accepted this reality in a trance. He felt that he could go to the social worker discussion group and post about it. There would definitely be a lot of clicks. Hashtag about how I became the boss of my beautiful ex-boss and had to tell you about it. Hashtag that's right. Ruan Qing joined the planning team of Two Under One Roof and even became the team leader. Since the live stream was still going on, Li Jianyu explained, "When we're done, I'll get everyone to say hello to you." Ruan Qing switched to work mode and took out a tablet from her bag to show Li Jianyu the PowerPoint she had prepared in advance. She said in a professional manner, "There are many reasons for the public opinion crisis that Two Under One Roof encountered today. First of all, the people who watch live streams and variety shows overlap, but not completely. At present, live streams and variety shows account for half of the video entertainment industry in our country. The explanation is very simple, and that is, Two Under One Roof has been promoted." Promotion meant that it was broadcasted on TV. Li Jianyu smiled bitterly. "I've thought of that too, but it's not something that can be done just because you want to." Ruan Qing took a sip of her coffee. "Director Li, may I ask if our production team has a complete promotion and salary increase plan?" Li Jianyu thought she was joking. "You're now the second in command of our show. If you get promoted again, you'll be the first in command." Ruan Qing, "I think it's fine." Li Jianyu was confused. "What about me? I'll be the first in command and you'll be the second in command." Li Jianyu, "Xiao Ruan, you're too funny, ha." As he laughed, he felt that something was amiss and said weakly, "You can't be serious, right?" Ruan Qing smiled. With the broadcast of the television version of Eating Well for All 3 Meals, there were more and more comments mocking Two Under One Roof on the internet. TSK, the online premiere of Eating Well for All 3 Meals, has already exceeded 18 million views. Two Under One Roof only has 50 million views. What a joke. When Shui was still a newbie, she spoke rudely to our best actor Zhua. She's a junior who doesn't know how to be polite. Sooner or later, she'll be beaten up. What live stream has more than 10 million online viewers? I think half of them are just rubbish. If it's really that impressive, how can it be an online variety show? Chapter 348. People tend to have preconceived notions. Now that everyone saw Eating Well for All 3 Meals on TV, they naturally thought that Eating Well for All 3 Meals was the real thing, and Two Under One Roof was a fake. As for which variety show aired first and whose idea came first, they didn't even bother to check at all and simply began to criticize. Zhui Yi's fans, in particular, had been clinging on to Shui. When Shui first debuted, she had collaborated with Zhui Yi in a movie, and it was revealed that a newcomer had spoken rudely to a senior and was suspected of being arrogant. Later, Zhui Yi won double Best Actor awards and kept mocking Shui about it. However, later on, Shui won triple Best Actor awards and was the youngest person in the entertainment industry to win the Grand Slam Best Actor awards. Hence, Zhui Yi's fans didn't dare to criticize her. Until today, this old grudge was brought up again. At 9 o'clock, the live stream ended. Li Jianyu gathered the staff in the yard and introduced Ruan Qing to everyone. "This is Sister Ruan, my boss." Everyone was dumbfounded. "Director Li's boss?" Li Jianyu said bitterly. "In short, Sister Ruan is now in charge of the planning and public relations of our program. You just have to remember that she's the boss of our program." He felt that this title would also go viral on the social media forum. #Hello everyone, I'm the boss. I found myself a boss. Although everyone was dumbfounded, they still greeted Ruan Qing in a friendly and obsequious manner. "Hello, Sister Ruan." "Sister Ruan, when can we get a raise?" "Sister Ruan, I want to report Director Li and old Zhang for secretly eating chicken." Most of the people in the program were young people. Although life was a little tough, everyone had something to aspire to and the atmosphere was particularly good. Ruan Qing naturally had no problem dealing with such a situation. However, she was used to the scheming in Miao TV, but in the face of such simple and pure enthusiasm, She was at a loss for what to do. Do you want to have supper? At the door of the villa, Jianghu poked her head out and asked. I cooked some preserved egg and lean meat porridge. Everyone was eager to eat and looked at Ruan Qing eagerly. Ruan Qing didn't put on airs and said with a smile, Go ahead. Everyone cheered in unison and swarmed into the kitchen. After a while, Jianghu came out with porridge and side dishes. Shi Sui was with her. Shi Sui had dealt with Ruan Qing before, so she took the initiative to greet her. Sister Ruan. Ruan Qing nodded in acknowledgement, and her gaze shifted to Jianghu. The girl's temperament was calm, and her dimples were shallow when she smiled. Hello, Sister Ruan. Hello, Miss Yang. Jianghu asked. Do you want to try supper? Ruan Qing, then I'm in for a treat. They sat down in the pavilion. Ruan Qing tasted the porridge and suddenly paused. It seemed to have understood something. Jianghu's cooking was indeed delicious. But apart from that, there was something else. It was an irresistible warmth. Perhaps coming here was the right choice. 10 minutes later, the haters were flaming, 2 under 1 roof, the most. The official Weibo account of Nanqing TV suddenly posted a Weibo post. Nanqing TV. Tomorrow night at 8:00 p.m. on Saturday, stay tuned to Nanqing TV to watch the first episode of the first season of the first domestic live-streaming variety show. Be there or be square. The official Weibo account of 2 under 1 roof immediately reposted the Weibo post, causing a huge uproar online. What the heck? Who's laughing at 2 under 1 roof? Does your face hurt? Nanqing TV is an official TV channel. Oh, this is amazing. Chapter 349. Haha, this YWR fan is proud and elated. No matter how awesome Muyao TV is, it's just a local TV station. Nanqing TV is an official TV station. This is the prestige. In the Muyao TV group chat, after Nanqing Satellite TV posted that Weibo, the group immediately held a video conference. The station head flew into a rage. What the hell is going on? Why would Ruan Qing join 2 under 1 roofs? How did 2 under 1 roof get Nanqing Satellite TV's resources? For a moment, no one dared to speak. After a long silence, someone said in a low voice, I heard that Ruan Qing has been in contact with people from Nanqing Satellite TV recently. I heard about it too. When the station head heard this, he almost died from anger. Then why didn't you say so earlier? Of course, they all felt that Ruan Qing was just a woman. What could she do? That was an official satellite TV station. Would they care about a woman like her? They thought that Ruan Qing at most wanted to work in Nanqing Satellite TV and be a small leader. Who would have thought that she actually reached a cooperation with Nanqing Satellite TV? Eating well for all 3 meals was never as popular as 2 under 1 roof. Even if their production team had arranged all kinds of scripts for Zhuyi and Jianghu, or to show off their love, quarrel, and fight with the guests, the number of viewers would never exceed 10 million. The popularity of the last live variety show, Heartbeat, had plummeted. It was only supported by the die-hard fans of the guests. The sponsors were all eager to get back their previous investments, let alone increase their investment. Now, it was all thanks to Muyao TV. Now that they had finally come up with a plan to snipe 2 under 1 roof, they had to take advantage of the premiere of 2 under 1 roof on the internet. They had to do a TV and online premiere, then fight a war of public opinion and try to steal the popularity of 2 under 1 roof. As a result, 2 under 1 roof was about to be broadcast on TV as well. Nanqing Satellite TV, 1 level higher than Muyao Satellite TV. The station head was furious. Trash. A bunch of trash. You can't even compare to a woman. There was dead silence in the video conference. No one dared to say that the station head was the one who forced that woman to leave. Muyao TV suffered the consequences of their own actions, and Zhuyi's fans were also rebuked by the Shi Sui sisters. Youngest Grand Slam Best Actor Sui Suizi Heart Suit Viewership Record Holder Television Emperor Sui Suizi Heart Suit Light of Acting Sui Suizi Heart Suit First Class Business Sui Suizi Heart Suit. Acting like a big shot? Did they really think that the internet had no memory? Who was the one who pretended to fight for real and broke Shi Sui's ribs? Back then, Zhuyi left his image as a single male god. Now, he's the equivalent of an idol. He hid his marriage to deceive his fans and then created a couple after marriage. Where did he find the face to step on our Shurindi? The Shui sisters' fighting prowess was not to be underestimated. Previously, in order to help two under one roof control the comments, they had scattered the crowd. Now that they had gathered together, they were able to defeat Zhuyi's fans in minutes. That night, the internet was extremely lively. Netizens from all walks of life stayed up late to watch the show. What? So Zhuyi had deliberately broken Shurind's bones during filming? What? Shui's ribs were broken, but she still managed to shoot the scene in one shot. Godly acting skills? What? So Shui had misogyny? The only female celebrity he had ever had physical contact with was Jianghu. On the one hand, the fans of the untimely couple felt sorry for Shui, but on the other hand, it didn't stop them from falling head over heels. The next day, early in the morning, the official account of Two Under One Roof announced the guests that would be coming today. Chapter 350. Two Under One Roof. Please sign here for today's surprise. We are fortunate to have invited the movie queen Zhongyi to participate in today's live stream. There are also two mystery guests. Everyone, please look forward to it. We actually managed to invite Zhongyi. Zhongyi had excellent acting skills and gorgeous looks, but she was often attacked by others because of her sexy image in the early days of her debut. Her most famous film was Dustless, which was a collaboration with Shui. In the film, Shui played a detective who belonged to the good side, while Zhongyi played a dancer who was both good and evil. She had a secret relationship with Shui. The director formed many artistic metaphors through their relationship, and the two of them also displayed superb acting skills, which were regarded as classics in the film industry. The two of them were about the same age, and Zhongyi was 30 years old this year. When the film was released, many people were shocked by their acting skills in the film and mistakenly thought that they were a real couple. Hence, the two of them were rather popular in the industry. The reason was that Shui had never interacted with any actresses before. Some of Zhongyi's fans immediately expressed, "Her Highness has arrived." Zhongyi and Zhongyi CP are worth investing in. When Shui was interviewed, he said that he liked Zhongyi's type very much. Haha, there's going to be a good show to watch. Zhongyi is the beautiful type. Vase Fairy is going to be crushed by a beauty like Zhongyi in seconds. Seeing how Zhongyi's fans were being ridiculed, Xiangyi's fans were displeased. Is our sister Yi someone you can bully as you please? Hence, Zhongyi's fans were taught a lesson early in the morning. They were dumbfounded. Is this Xiangyi that popular? Why does she have so many fans? The live stream began at 9 o'clock in the morning. The loyal fans of Two Under One Roof immediately swarmed into the live stream. The camera panned to a distant view of the mountains in the distance, where the colorful windmills of Little Rabbit Farm were rotating in the wind. The vegetable fields were fertile, the garden was lush, and there were flocks of chickens and ducks. In the yard, Xiao Naofu and Little Shiji were fighting. To be more precise, Xiao Naofu was bullying Little Shiji. She refused to drink her goat milk and insisted on snatching the milk from Little Shiji's bowl. The little Shiba Inu's black eyes were wet. It didn't fight back even after being hit a few times by Xiao Naofu's fleshy paws. It even gave the goat milk to Xiao Naofu. The netizens in the live stream. Hooligan acts. Sterilization warning. Wow, the Shiba Inu is so cute. What a cute little puppy. Have I been drinking too much sugar lately? I think Little Shiji is spoiling Xiao Naofu a little. Ha, you don't have to. I saw the staff post yesterday. Although the two of them are of different species, they are of the same gender. Nothing good will happen if they get together. After the heartwarming scene was shot, the camera turned to the entrance of the manor. The black iron gate was covered in vines and roses. Zhongyi, who was wearing a red V-neck dress, got out of the car with a strong aura. Her black high heels made her fair and straight legs look even longer. She was plump but not fat. She combed her wavy long hair, and as an actress, she accurately found the camera and smiled. Bullet comments in the live stream. "Aw sister, kill me." Zhong Yi's smile is so enchanting that it makes all the beauties pale in comparison. Zhong Yi is such a queen. I finally get the charm of a 30-year-old sister. Vase Fairy really can't compare to her. In the next second, Zhong Yi turned around and got out of the car. She carried out a little bun who was wearing a princess dress and had her hair in a bun. She was also holding a rainbow lollipop tightly in her chubby little hand. Chapter 351. The netizens were dumbfounded. What the hell? Where did this child come from? Someone asked. Could it be Zhong Yi's baby? As soon as the bullet screen was posted, Zhong Yi's fans immediately burst into laughter. Please don't spread rumors. You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. Smile, how did you know? Did you deliver her baby? If not, then shut up, okay? The production crew was also dumbfounded. However, Ruan Qing was present and made a few gestures to Li Jianyu. Li Jianyu coughed and picked up the microphone to greet Zhong Yi from behind the camera. Zhong Yi, welcome to Two Under One Roof. I wish you a happy day. He didn't mention the child because he didn't want to make Zhong Yi feel awkward. Zhong Yi nodded. Hello, everyone. She looked at the little bun in her arms with a gentle gaze. This is my daughter, Jiang. The production crew was speechless. The netizens were speechless. The corners of Li Jianyu's mouth twitched. What kind of luck is this? Today's hot search is going to be dominated by their variety show again. The executives of Muyao TV, who were secretly watching the live broadcast of Two Under One Roof next door, almost vomited blood when they heard this. Another hot topic. Why did Two Under One Roof have to face it? They had spent hundreds of millions of yuan to invite Zhuyi and Jiang Yun, and the guest remuneration for each episode ranged from millions to tens of millions. As far as they knew, Two Under One Roof didn't pay a high notice fee, mainly because they had always invited veteran actors and actresses. They only charged a friendship price, which was a few 100,000 yuan at most. When Xiangyi's family came, none of them asked for money. Instead, her third brother, Hades, had to fork out a lot of money, not to mention the president of the Chinese Medicine Association, the brothers of C7, and the upcoming Logic team came for free, low-cost, high-return. That was enough to make people green with envy. This variety show has its own hot topics. For example, when Xiangyi played the Sanxian, the folk music bigwigs on Weibo, the Chinese Music Association, the cruelty exposed in the Mingxi Boys' high school incident, and the subsequent reflection on education. Not to mention, when Xiangyi's brothers exposed themselves, it brought about a lot of attention. But now, Zhong Yi had exposed that she had a daughter. The director of Muyao TV was so angry that his eyes turned red. If he had kept Li Jianyu in the beginning, wouldn't all the achievements and popularity brought about by Two Under One Roof be his glory? Jiang's facial features were soft and adorable, and her eyes were young and round. She seemed to be very shy as she hugged her mother's neck tightly. Zhong Yi asked her to greet the others, but she didn't say a word. However, when Zhong Yi carried her to the courtyard and saw Shi Sui who went out to greet the guests, Jiang blinked. Shi Sui greeted her politely, "Good morning, Senior Zhong." Zhong Yi was only 3 years older than him, but she had been in the industry for over 10 years. She was his senior. Long time no see. You're so fat now, Zhong Yi joked. I guess you've been eating well lately. Shi Sui chuckled. Is it that obvious? As soon as she said that, the little bun in Zhong Yi's arms suddenly reached out a hand toward Shi Sui. Papa! In an instant, Li Jianyu's vision turned black and he almost fainted. Father? Father sure has a daughter. Oh no, not only am I going to be on the hot search list today, my Weibo is going to be paralyzed. Shi Sui raised her eyebrows and asked, Are you Jiang? Papa, hug. The little girl reached out her chubby and milky white arms toward Shi Sui. Li Jianyu's vision turned even darker when he saw Xiangyi who appeared behind Shi Sui. Xiao Ruan, when I faint later, can you help me pinch my philtrum? Ruan Qing squinted and asked, Xiao Ruan? Li Jianyu was on the verge of breaking down. Is this the time to be fussing over what to call me? Chapter 352. Sister Ruan, is that enough? Ruan Qing pondered for a few seconds and said, "You'll faint later, let's see how things go first. If you faint now, it'll affect your work." "Sister Ruan, you're such a capitalist." Xiangyi was obviously stunned when she heard the soft and adorable word, Papa. Shi Sui's daughter? How is that possible? Even though her rationality told her that the probability was slim, she strangely felt a sense of suffocation in her heart. She was also a little frustrated. Shi Sui didn't like children. He didn't hug Jiang and instead rubbed her little head. "Jiang, I'm not your father." However, Jiang was very firm and she exclaimed in a childish voice, You are Papa." The comments section of the live stream exploded. "Oh my gosh. Jiang is Shi Sui and Zhongyi's daughter?" No wonder Zhongyi retired for a long time a few years ago. She must have gone to give birth to Shi Sui's child. Shi Sui is toxic. Your child has already called you Papa, yet you refuse to acknowledge her? Is your own flesh and blood not as important as your character? All the major marketing companies swarmed in, and those who were quick enough had already written eye-catching drafts. Shocking! Shi Sui's biological daughter has been exposed. She's actually, Shi Sui and Zhongyi's relationship has come to fruition. I believe in love again. Zhongyi is the empress of the Empress Dowager. She's a shameless homewrecker. There were those who were just there to watch the show, those who were trying to ride on the hype, and those who were making things up. All of a sudden, rumors and slanders spread at the fastest speed. The number of viewers in the live stream of Two Under One Roof skyrocketed, and in just a few minutes, the number of viewers had already risen to millions. While everyone was watching, Zhongyi said indifferently, Jiang, you've got the wrong person." "Mommy." Jiang blinked her grape-like eyes and tears began to well up in her eyes. "Mommy, you're lying." Zhongyi naturally changed the subject. Jiang, there's a kitty over there. Don't you like kitty the most?" Jiang was only 3 years old and was at the age when her attention was easily diverted. When she saw Xiao Naofu, her eyes lit up and she fluttered her little legs. "Mommy, I want to go down." Zhongyi put her on the ground, and the little girl bounced towards Xiao Naofu, looking carefree and innocent. Zhongyi tried to make light of it, but the netizens didn't buy it. Zhongyi must be hiding something. That's it? The denial is too weak. I was only 30% convinced just now, but judging by Zhongyi's attitude, I'm 70% convinced that she's having an affair with Shi Sui. Miss Xiang. Zhongyi had watched some videos of Two Under One Roof before she came, so she recognized Xiangyi. Xiangyi stepped forward and greeted him politely. "Do you have any tasks for me?" Zhongyi asked. Li Jinyu continued. "Today's task is to change pots and fertilize the plants. Then, we have to build a fence around the vegetable field." Zhongyi nodded, indicating that she got it. She asked Xiangyi, "Where's the room? I'd like to change into some lighter clothes." "Senior, this way please." Xiangyi brought her to change her clothes. The two of them were polite and distant, but that was actually normal. After all, they didn't know each other before. However, in the eyes of the netizens, countless meanings were interpreted. Zhongyi is really like an empress. The vase fairy is like a maid in contrast. Tisk, hehe, I feel like a battle is about to start. Zhongyi has such a good figure, she can easily defeat Xiangyi. Zhongyi has been working with Shi Sui since 5 years ago. A certain female celebrity is considered to have interfered in their relationship. Chapter 353. The netizens were having a great time gossiping about the emotional entanglements between celebrities. All of a sudden, all sorts of speculations popped up. Some said that Shi Sui and Zhongyi had a one-night stand, and that Shi Sui abandoned Zhongyi and her mother after becoming famous. Some said that Shi Sui and Zhongyi had long been married in secret, just like Shui and Jiangyun. They were going to announce it today. Xiangyi, on the other hand, had become the third party in the public opinion. While the others were talking, Zhongyi changed her clothes and came out of the bathroom. She was wearing a black singlet, tight-fitting sweatpants, and a large oversized jacket. The gender-neutral sportswear style neutralized the sexiness of her figure, making her look clean and suave. Zhong Yi's fans immediately started praising her, and they didn't forget to criticize Xiangyi. Sister looks so beautiful in sportswear. Best Actress Zhong Yi. Movie queen who can charm and defeat. Sister's figure is really like the ceiling of female celebrities. Vase Fairy, who relies on her face to make a living, stand back. In the next second, Xiangyi also appeared in front of the camera. She didn't change out of her clothes and simply took off her cute apron. Inside, she was wearing a blue short-sleeved shirt with a few daisies dotted on her chest. She was also wearing a pair of high-waisted, wide-legged pants that accentuated her long legs and slender waist. His outfit was simple, languid, and casual, but it made it impossible for one to look away. The comments in the live stream seemed to have lagged, and it took a few seconds for the comments to be refreshed. I have a similar short-sleeved shirt. So the daisies on her chest look like they're in full bloom? To be honest, I don't usually think that Xiangyi is very good-looking, but when I compare her to Zhong Yi, I realize that she's really beautiful. I'm dying of laughter. Is this your first day surfing the internet? Do you really think anyone can be called a vase fairy? The word vase is enough to prove that she's worth it. Coincidentally, Xiangyi and Zhong Yi were in the same frame. There was only hurt when there was a comparison. Zhong Yi's fans realized that Xiangyi seemed to be fairer, slimmer, and her breasts. *CK. What the hell did you eat when you were growing up? Xiangyi demonstrated it once. She just took out the plants and soil from the flower pot and put them into a bigger flower pot. She then added nutritious soil and slow-release fertilizer. You can put some of these insecticides into the soil to prevent pests from appearing. For slow-release fertilizer, just sprinkle it around like this. Xiangyi explained the steps very patiently. Some netizens noticed that the pots of flowers she gave to Zhong Yi were all small and light, while the ones she gave to Zhong Yi were bigger. Someone praised, "Sister Yi is really gentle." There were also people who scolded. Isn't he just trying to perform in front of the camera? Prove that you're doing more work than Zhong Yi, scheming woman. When Xiangyi got up to pick up a pot of flowers from the flower rack, her short sleeves rolled up along with her movements, revealing her slender waist and skin that was glowing under the sunlight. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the comments section of the live stream changed. Sister Yi's back isn't a back, it's a Bulgarian rose. Sister Yi's waist isn't a waist, it's a deadly scimitar. Hurry up and block Xiang Yi's view. Mommy won't allow others to see Xiang Yi's waist. At this moment, Zhong Yi's fans in the live stream no longer had the cheek to diss Xiangyi with her beauty and figure. After all, the feeling of being slapped in the face was too uncomfortable.